All right, guys, it is Thursday. Welcome to Nerdly Gaming. I am DM Roy, and these are the Edgelords and Murder Hobos. What's up, guys? How's it going? Bees, we got. Oh, look! I just noticed that
Bees, where are you?
Bees is doing a.
Jesus! I'm here.
He's That's kind of a cool intro, man. We should all do that. Actually, we can set our characters up. As I call you, you just come into frame. Like, yeah.
All right, guys, and why?
We have been on stream for 5 minutes and it's already derailed.
You know what?
Yeah, like put it up and then
That's
it
a
accidentally
record.
comes off, and it's just like, oh god.
We're like kids with toys. I mean, much
we are
like
kids with toys.
Yeah,
much like kids with toys. Yeah. So it's Thursday night, man. Thank you for joining us here at Nerdly Gaming. We're glad you stopped by. We are still in the midst of this fantastic pandemic. The good news is that doesn't really affect us in any way because we all live in various parts of the U.S. and Canada. Yeah. No, we're not. We're supposed to be social distancing. We're doing the thing. Let's see. Who has any interesting stuff going on? I know. Oh, I'm negative for COVID-19. I got tested. I'm negative.
Nice.
I had to go in for my doctor's appointment.
You want to be negative.
Yeah, no kidding, right? I'm like, yeah, man. On the downside, my wife gave me this really cool haircut. If y'all can see this, but it's like this solid sort of. It's a weird thing. I think I have like a mohawk now. It's kind of wild. But that's cool. Ish.
I love it.
Fine, whatever.
Diet blue, everything will be fine as soon as you diet blue again.
Yeah, I think next time I go blue, I'm gonna do the bleaching thing, so it's like
Bright blue.
blue. Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Don't do that at home. It's a bad idea.
I
Someone
can't wait.
bleach
Man,
their
I
own
can't-
hair. Don't do it. It's a bad idea.
I can't wait to see brand new baby chick version of Roy.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. Look, I'm this close to shaving my head anyway, man. Okay, so like, fine, whatever.
As a stopover, just make some blue Kool-Aid, dunk it in. There you go.
Does that work? Does that actually?
If
I
your
mean, it's
hair
not
was
permanent.
lighter, it would.
I would totally try that. It'd be cool. We'll do that. Okay, next week we're all gonna dye our hair a color. It'd be fun. All right, who's in?
Do that.
My hair is black. What color should I dye it besides darker black?
We'll have to bleach it. Oh, so we'll do the episode where we all have our hair bleached. Then the episode where we'll color our hair different colors. Come on, who's in?
Yeah,
Who's in?
I've always wanted to
I
look
got
like
plenty
Cisco,
of white
so.
right here, right here.
And then, next month we'll all get matching tattoos. Huh? Are we in?
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Can we finish my sleeve? Can you guys just get a bunch of roses on this side so that way I can finish my sleeve?
I was thinking we'd all put like DM Roy's my favorite DM or something. That'd be like a cool tattoo, wouldn't that?
Can we get
wouldn't
Nerdly Gaming tramp stamps?
Oh, I like that. Yeah. All right, I'm in. I would totally get a Nerdly Gaming tramp stamp. Speaking of tramp stamps, last week.
What?
I don't.
What a transition!
Well, look, man,
segues.
I'm just trying to get out of tramp stamps right now. I'm just trying to get out of there any way I can. So last week,
Sing it again.
last week we had a crazy episode. Well, actually, why would I even try to do this? Chronicler John. I'm sorry, John. I didn't intend to just try to step on any toes. We did have a lot go on though. John, how was last week?
It was very eventful.
Let me get you some good background music.
So, last week we opened up to, we just killed some Zentarum and started speaking to the Lord or mostly the Lady of the Growhounds estate. While that was happening, we opened up last episode to Jake and Elona looking through dead bodies in the main entrance of the estate, going over, grabbing some money, looking for interesting items or notes. They only found a bit of gold on the bodies, and then went to open up some big mahogany doors that were currently closed to explore more of the estate. While that was happening, Zavroski was able to hear the Lord of the estate through a closed doorway that Urstel had previously been trying to get through. The Lord Orond accidentally let loose that the Zentarum betrayed the Growhounds, and he's trying to open the door, but is having trouble moving things out of the way. While that's going on, Cole managed to intimidate down the guard and to admitting that our group actually saved the state and they were probably doomed if we didn't show up. After that, he more calmly talks to Lady Yala Gralhund about the fact that Zentarum and Xanathar were watching the estate, and she was actually a bit shocked to learn that the Xanathars were watching them, and says that she needs to have a drink and tend to her children as they're crying from the other room. She does mention that she does not want the City Watch to get involved. She doesn't want word getting out that the Gralhounds can't defend their own estate, but she needs a few minutes to gather herself before we continue a more thorough conversation downstairs in the estate. The orc guard Rabas then lets out the Lord of the Estate, as he can't quite remove all the barricades from within his room. He just kicks down the door, and Yala goes to console her children, and a guard is sent to the front of the gate to keep away the City Watch in case they come from any commotion that they've heard. Before anyone goes downstairs, Zavroski calls down to Jake and Elona, saying the coast is clear, or asking if the coast is clear, as they are further looking through the study and lounge behind the mahogany doors they opened. Jake manages to find a interesting wrestling mat with nude statues in the study, and then
I
finds
almost put
notes.
that in our clip.
Nude statues of men.
Yes. Finds a good deal of notes on the grand game. He snatches up the papers, throws them in his back, and then looks through the bookcases for anything more notable. He notices that many of the books are actually fakes, with crude drawings of Med and smutty poems inside. While that's going on, Elona manages to grab some alcohol from the lounge, but doesn't glean too much from the books in there. As she's coming back, Jake tries to scare her with the rock-hard statue from within the study. And then Elona, noting the wrestling mat, talks about wanting to spar with Jake, but there's currently no ties.
Hashtag excuses.
They should have come downstairs to that. It would have been great.
What's the Vegas odds on that match, I wonder?
I mean, instantaneous
And Jake used
loss by
magic?
I'm
Jake.
squirmy.
Yeah, I would take the long odds on Jake, I think, on that one. I don't know. I might try to make a lot of
Now
money
this
on
needs
that.
to happen. I'm offended.
You gotta bid for the underdog, man. You get that's the long odds, you get
He's team strength with stunning strike.
It's invasion, right? Or not yet?
Yeah. No, he took... Depends what he took. But then we learned more from Orond after he was let free from his room, asking about Erstal Floxton. Apparently, Erstal Bobson was not his true name. It was Floxton.
Weird.
I can't believe he lied.
What a crazy idea. And he lets loose that Erstal was trying to take the stone, which we hadn't heard about yet. We do show him Erstal's body, and Orond talks about the stone and how everyone is looking for the stone. He does try to shut down any talk about the Nimberite, and insists that Yala should be there when we talk. Cole calls Yala the alpha in the house, and there is a good old smirk from Harabis at that mention. After that, we gather in the library with a couple remaining guards finally getting to the front gates. And Oren pours out some drinks. He's in a bit of disarray, noticing that some items are missing, but doesn't call out anybody. He starts talking before Yalo gets there and lets us know that Erstal was actually living at this estate, and the Grauhunds have connections that they've been leveraging for a while to take chances at the grand game. As Yalo enters, after Oren's given a bit more information than maybe he should have, he shrinks down and grabs her a drink. Yala tries to maintain her own cool, as we mentioned, the stone and the Nimblewright. There's a bit of conflict between Yala and Orond, as Orond is starting to want to get out of the whole game, as it's much too dangerous. This is our chance out of this. He talks about barely saving the children tonight and all the potential future attacks to try and sway Yala out of trying to stay in.
Dangerous
we press them
business.
further on the Nibblewright, and they really try and play down everything and say that it was supposed to get the stone from Dalakar, and it wasn't actually supposed to kill anyone, and it accidentally even killed their own agents. As they get into it a bit more, Jake's gets more and more tense. His knuckles get white on the back of his seat, and eventually he blows up at the Growlhounds while Cole tries to talk him down from anything rash. There's a fight and a tense moment between the two of them.
I yelled at him. You can
Tries to talk him down.
him.
Cole tries to gently talk him down.
Air quotes on the talk down.
I yelled.
Yells
Oh,
down.
lost his shit.
There was some for real drama last week, man. That was crazy. Whew. Tensions are high.
Jake storms out with watch your back, Growlhounds, said as he's left, with Elona quickly following him. After being yelled at about the deaths of children on the street and Jake's aunt, Yala admits that perhaps Orand is right and that they should perhaps get out of the grand game, as they caused a lot of damage to others in their own household.
Yeah,
Presents
she
the
was.
stone to us. It is apparently the key to the Neverember Enigma, the key to the treasure. They currently have the key, but don't know where the vault is. We talked about getting some recompense for Jake by finding and destroying the Nibblewright, but that is quickly brushed off, swayed around as Yala starts to change her stance and then starts talking about partnering up instead so that we can take on the dangers and she can still get a cut of the prize while helping us with her resources.
Yeah, one thing you guys definitely picked up last week.
Agree
You guys.
to getting them a
There you go. Good air
35% cut for partnering up. And they are to give the extensive notes that they have to us, which Jake had already stolen, and tell us everything and help us with any of the power that they still have. We learned that the stone has 3 eyes, but the eyes are actually hard to find. It sounds like the Xanathar likely have an eye. Renair may have a stone or an eye for the stone, and Manshun probably also has a hand in it as well. As we're talking this out with Yala and Orand, Jake has been leading an alcohol trail through the mansion to a fireplace in the kitchen, and Elona's following, not really understanding what's going on. As he starts getting close to the kitchen fire, he tells her, "We're going to burn this place to the ground. I'm not going to stop until their bloodline is gone."
Ooh.
Elona is not okay with this and tries to talk him down. Eventually, he storms out of the room as she doesn't let him throw the bottle into the fire, and she follows, and they argue about him killing the whole family. Elona's not fine with that, and they have a bit of a spat before Jake storms off on his own, and Elona eventually heads back inside.
Oh man, tensions running high. Jake not finding out these people were the ones who were responsible for Auntie Ruth's death. Oh man.
While that's going on, Cole has been pressing for more details about the orders that were given to the Nibblewright and how the hell it got a necklace of fireballs. We found out that Dalakar had gotten the stone, and the Growlhounds did not think Dalakar would hand it over, so they wanted to give the Nibblewright some way to get him to hand it over. Yala then talks about how all the gold from the Neverember treasure could bring back the dead, and there's an argument from both Cole and Ordath that at this point they will have been dead too long, and they know more about bringing people back and death, as they are a priest and a Raven Queen follower each. With that conversation, Cole managed to break through a bit to the Growlhounds that they should be more charitable with their money, and she hands over the stone. She also imparts with us that she hopes it does not bring the misfortune upon us that it did her family, but fears that it will.
We're about to find out.
It brought us a lot of misfortune already.
Orin
Jake
goes
is
to-
in an opium den somewhere.
Having a blast.
Orin goes to give
by the
us
way.
his extensive notes, but can't find them, and is quite disgruntled at that. And with that, we bid the Growlhounds farewell, saying that if they find them or have any other information for us, they can find us at the Spirits of the Hydra. With that, we all leave the estate. Elona and Ordath are a bit further ahead while leaving. Jake is nowhere to be found, and Zavroski and Cole follow out with the stone. We find out that Jake has actually disappeared to find a good old opium den to fill his night with something so that he'll forget everything, have some opium and some horse. With Elona and Ordath walking out of the estate, Elona actually weasels her hand into Ordath's hand, saying, Jakey is not okay, and starts asking Ordath for help on fixing Jake. She tells Ordath about Jake wanting to burn the whole house down, and Ordath responds to her saying that Jake is not himself right now, and he needs someone to comfort and watch him right now.
But no one's
Then
with
we
him.
get into a bit more personal speech between Elona and Ordath. She sits him down and tells him, I have an answer for you. With Elona holding both of his hands, she gets into when Ordath left how she didn't know what to do. She didn't think he'd remember her, but when she saw he had her ring, it gave her hope. Then, a few days ago, he left it behind, and it hurt just as much as when Ordath left the first time. She talks about how she's not the same Ellie that he knew. Now she's angry, hurt, and scared. She's not the same Ellie, and she doesn't need his protection anymore. She then gets into talking about how she stopped Jake from taking vengeance when she wants her own vengeance for her mother, and she's lost about who she is now. She's afraid Ordath will be a distraction for her own goals and seeking vengeance for her mom, and tells him it's not a no, but it's not a yes. She needs to release her anger over those bastards that killed her mom, and then maybe. If Ordath doesn't run away from the angry person that isn't Ellie, then maybe. Ordath responds that he'd never forgive himself if he got in the way of any closure with Elona's mother. He didn't know his mother and his family. His own family sees him as a monster, so he doesn't quite understand the familial bond completely, though he does think he'd feel the same way if Jet was murdered. He goes to hug her and tells her to do whatever you need to do. If you need me, I'm here. At that, Elona actually leans up and kisses him, and they have a nice embrace, just as Zavroski and Cole walk in to ruin the moment and turn right around as they see something going on.
Zav, what a cockblock.
Cole.
Do you think Elona thinks Cole is a cockblock?
I immediately turned around.
At that, we hear some great music.
No.
Great music
It was
outside as
beautiful.
Groomshars showed up holding a goblin playing a lute over his head, trying to come back to win Elona's heart.
No.
Grumshar calls
that
out for Elona, and
This is the best art.
Tell him that Elona is busy.
This is the best
You
art
just
I've
wanted
ever
an
done, by the
excuse
way.
to bring up the art again.
It's the best art I've ever done in my life, in my whole life. This is the best thing I've ever done art-wise.
Grumshar insists that she knows me. I will lay my claim on her. I will go through if I must. A quick fight breaks out as Grumshar draws his blade, but he's easily knocked down by the crew around, and he falls down, hitting the pavement, and then the goblin gets his revenge by crushing in his head.
He's a level 1 encounter. Come on. Jeez.
At that, everyone eventually makes their way back to Spirits of the Hydra, other than Jake, who's enjoying his time with the opium. A drinking contest breaks out between Elona and Zav,
Round 3.
And
Round
even though
3.
this time Elona's not on drugs, she still loses after 8 drinks.
Oh, poor Luna.
I'm gonna make a compilation of the drinking contest at some point.
Ardath and Cole are having a bit of a more serious conversation while this is going on. Ardath actually lets Cole know about Jake wanting to burn down this state, and Cole's unsure about how he handled the situation, thinking that maybe he was too harsh on Jake and wouldn't blame him for being angry at him. After a bit, Zavroski butts in, quite drunk, hearing something about people setting fire to things, and as Cole beats himself up more about not handling the situation with Jake more, Zavroski drunkenly tells him, "You are the glue, Cole." And then eventually,
Classic drunk person thing to say.
Zav was a drunk white girl in every bathroom at a bar.
Oh, God.
eventually everyone goes
No,
off
you-
to
It's blue.
heads off to rest. Lona's so drunk on the floor that Ardath picks her up and brings her to her room after agreeing to talk with Cole a little bit further at the Raven Queen's temple they have in the attic. But while he lays Lona to rest, we stopped at him finding a note crudely written in common labeled Cole, and he goes to reach out for it.
Bum, bum, bum.
That's where we're picking up today.
Thank you, John. So that is that's just last week. Oh man, one episode. Yeah, so they are. So Jake is lost. Jake has left in a rage and is out expending that energy in various ways, various destructive ways. The party has come back home, and we'll just open the scene right where that left off, where there is this letter on the desk that Anna. What is this about, Anna? Oh yeah.
The front of the letter says Cole in common. Ordath hasn't opened it yet.
Yep.
If he wants to invade Elona's privacy.
All right. So Ordath, you set her down gently and tuck her into bed, and you notice this letter, and your hand almost involuntarily sort of reaches towards it.
Yeah, so he's gonna pick it up and just look at it. And like, what does it look like?
It's like a shittily folded piece. Like it's not
Yeah,
folded.
just kind of folded in half.
Folded. Yeah, it's as tactfully as you think Elona could fold something. It's that, and it just says Cole in like kindergarten scrawl.
Scrawl, yeah.
All right. Oh, shit. He's not gonna like take it to Cole because he doesn't want anybody to know what's this? Grabbed it and snooped. So he's just gonna peek at it a little bit. What do you see inside?
Okay. Inside is orcish, so if you can read orc.
Yeah. So he's gonna see that and be like, well, put it right back where it was.
It's a bunch of toddlers scribbling.
Shit.
Yeah. He's gonna grab it and be like, no, fuck
Yeah.
that.
She still can't write. Fine.
So he's gonna walk.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah, he's gonna start walking towards the door and then stop, take a look, like turn back and look at her once more, and then walk upstairs towards. Yeah, look at that, graceful. And
She's beauty.
and
She's great.
head upstairs towards Cole.
Yeah, she's like snoring and drooling at this point.
Yeah, she's on her side.
It
so she
smells
doesn't
like
injure.
alcohol.
Yeah.
You're worried about her sleep apnea?
You put it like her pack on her, fully weighted on the side, so that way she doesn't roll over. Not that I would know that's what you're supposed to do.
All right. Do you guys have anything else to do tonight before we end this day?
A couple prayers at the shrine. Nothing too big.
All right.
Just asking for help for everyone.
Ow.
For Elona, to help guide Jake to a better path, to help Ordath find his friend, all that stuff.
So Ordeth's kind of standing by the entrance because he doesn't really know much about the Raven Queen, and doesn't want to like.
And what you know of
know.
Cole, he is in fact a warlock, but you see him treating his relationship with the Raven Queen much more religiously.
Yeah. So he'll just stand patiently at the door waiting for him to finish because he doesn't want to interrupt him.
All right, and some time goes by, of course, and then
Yeah, after all the prayers happen, he'll just walk back to Ardath and be like, "It was a very confusing day today, but I hope that eventually we can find your friend and fix our other friends. So I bid you good night, friend." And he'll reach up and pat him on the shoulder.
He'll kind of just like give him one of those big bear hugs,
Oh,
like
okay,
lift him off his feet and
okay.
then put him back down. And he's just gonna look at him.
That was surprisingly gentle for someone so large.
Just because I am big, it does not mean I am a brute.
When they have that
I
close
know how to
embrace,
be
does
gentle.
Cole realize there's now another hog?
do I feel it rub up against my thigh?
In all reality, it's actually you think I have a belt on, but no.
Oh, okay.
He wears it like a Saiyan tail.
God.
This is the real shit.
We are adults, I promise.
We have like a mental
We are
limit.
adults.
Ratings on our stream, right?
Yeah, yeah. We have a mental limit, like collectively a limit to how long we can be serious, right? So like when the timer goes off, it's
I
like
mean, this is coming into all this. That's a requirement to play.
oh, I love it.
So he's just gonna look at Cole and be like, "Cole, I know it is a very difficult time for everyone.
Oh shit.
Especially everything stemming from Jake. So don't stress yourself over the next couple days because things are they're going to get worse before they get better."
Well, I am fully prepared for the worst part because I overstepped and I deserve whatever he has to give to me.
And don't beat yourself up.
It's easier said than done, but
Exactly,
thank you.
but it still needs to be said.
I thank you for that.
All right, get some sleep.
I will try.
And he's gonna head down to his room and sit up probably for another like 3 hours. He's gonna look out the window and just kind of contemplate everything that's going on. Also, the fact that he's been here this whole time and still hasn't made any steps, any progress towards finding Jet. So he kind of feels like a failure in that aspect. Plus, he's also thinking about the letter to Cole, and he doesn't know if if what Elona told him earlier had to do with Cole or if it was, just the whole only dealing with her mother. So he's just gonna sit there and just think about everything for a while.
All right. So we'll close scene there with Ordath, sort of the large hulking figure, silhouette of Ordath peeking out of one of the windows of the
Gentle giant.
of the estate. Cole, tonight you again have that same sort of dream, and it's frustrating because you're seeing that dream with that that glowing eye that you see, and you're sort of like zooming into that to get the clearer picture of that, but you can't quite make out the details, and it's frustrating there. And as you're sort of feeling that frustration in the dream tonight, you actually have you feel these sort of tendrils coming from that man. No, from behind that man. These tendrils coming out and reaching towards you. And you feel the sense of dread as they come out towards you. And just as they touch you, they seem to just like grab the sides of your head, almost trying to burrow into your head, into your skull. And you wake up in a cold sweat, goosebumps all over your skin.
Okay.
And you feel terrified. You feel that you're getting closer to an answer, but you're also terrified that you don't want to know that answer. Tomorrow dawns bright. The day is sunny, cloudless. Let me long rest you guys. Long resting is important now because
because everybody got a real good sleep.
well, everyone did sleep, but there is a very significant. A very significant sort of game event that happened yesterday, and that is the fact that you guys have accomplished enough in the game that you are now fifth level characters. That is a significant power spike. You know, fifth level is a huge power spike level. In fact, it Adventure League standards takes you from the tier 1 to tier 2. So you guys are officially tier 2 material. Yeah.
Hey, we made it.
Sucks.
We're at the tween table. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Heck yeah.
So I think it'd be cool if we. I think it'd be cool if we you get his copyright. The singing.
I already had to do a
Excuse me,
copyright
that
issue
was
last
full
time.
Hey, you only.
Stop it.
Fuck you,
It works
YouTube. That was
fine
very
as long as it's a
100.
10-second window.
That's right.
If it's more
I'm just
than
saying,
that-
every time I see copyright come up when I'm uploading these videos, it gives me a heart attack, so let's not do that.
No, it's fine.
Oh, sweet caramel baby Jesus! I just realized my HP went up on its own. Never mind, I'm good.
Yeah, man, we do all that. So, let's see. So let's talk a little bit about. Let's see. Jake, do you want to go first or last to talk about you waking up?
I'll go last because mine has a little bit of. I got a little bit of.
Right on.
Mine.
All right. So let's see. On my
a
screen,
little bit of cheese.
on my screen, left to right, I have Anna. Actually, no, wait. You know what? John is last on my screen. Not last, right? Most. So, John, you want to go first? No, we listened to John talk too much already. All right, Anna, back the other way. I know. I can't. I'm bad at decisions. Okay.
What are you doing?
Look.
Damn.
Hello, Whiplash. My neck hurts.
Indecisiveness.
Mine's probably the least fancy anyway.
Perfect.
So
All right, then you can start us off with
my
something
level up
brief.
comes with the least amount of fancy things.
All right, so Anna,
I am now
you're currently fourth level monk, right? Half orc, fourth level monk. All right, so now you made fifth level. You're doing what?
5th level, Long of Death monk.
All right.
So I get Stunning Strike, which Roy nerfed, and I'm upset about, but it's
So how does
fine.
it work in this version?
So in
Break down
this
on
version, in the Roy Hates Monks version, when Stunning Strike happens, they make a Constitution save. If they fail, they are stunned until the beginning of my next turn, as opposed to the end of my next turn.
Oh, Roy broke the
mean.
game.
Yeah, it's rude. And I also have an extra attack, so I have 2 attacks per attack action.
Ooh, all right.
And that's it. That's all I got. Oh, also my HP goes, my temp HP I get if I knock someone down to 0 hit points goes up more.
Oh, that's true. Fifth level is the level where the martial classes get extra, like double their attacks. You get 2 attacks around now. Oh man, that's
Yep, and I get
big deal.
8 HP. No. Yeah, 8 HP, temp HP if I knock someone down to 0 hit points.
All right, right on. Okay, so we have a fifth level monk in the party now.
5th level monk.
Next, left to right, is the warlock. You are a 4th level warlock currently. Hector, you're leveling up to
5th level warlock.
5th level warlock. All right. What's that look like for you?
Doing, yes, yeah. That is Pact Boon, Pact of the Blade. That is also another invocation, which will be for Thirsting Strike, which allows me to attack twice. And I will be dropping Eldritch Sight for Eldritch Smite. And I picked up Fly and a spell called Spirit Shroud.
Fly? Fly is a tough spell. I'm not going to lie.
Spirit Shroud, though, because that's Unearthed Arcana, and most people probably don't know what it is.
Yeah, Spirit Shroud is a UA spell, so I will read it out to the folks. You call forth spirits of the dead, which flit around you for the spell's duration. The sprites are intangible and invulnerable, and they are good or evil, your choice, until the spell ends. Any attack made deals an extra d8 damage. When you hit a creature within 10 feet of you, this damage is radiant if the sprites are good, necrotic if they are evil. Any creature that takes this damage can't regain hit points until the start of their next turn. In addition, any creature of my choice that I can see that starts its turn within 10 feet of me, I can reduce their speed by 10 feet. Just as a reaction because of the spell.
Yep. And we've sort of reskinned this a bit to fit more into the motif of the Raven Queen. So it's this sort of spell of what? Not retribution, but like justice.
Wait till he casts it the first time.
Oh boy, here we go. I feel sorry for my next NPCs, man. The next NPC encounter, that's tough. Cool, man. All right, so then let's see. Ordath, you are next, going left to right. You are currently level 4 cleric. You're going to... Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Level 5 cleric.
My internet connection is unstable.
But did I stop?
Mm-mm. Am I okay? Can you guys hear me?
The Zoom videos are like popping.
Yeah,
like,
Zoom is being
for some
slow.
reason, people come back in, and it's
Hang on.
it's glitching.
No, Zoom is just having a seizure right now.
Yeah, I just got a...
You mean Zoom is being Zoom?
My internet.
Yeah, Zoom is not having a good time.
Everyone's bandwidth is low.
All right, yeah, I just got a notification that my internet connection is unstable. I wonder if Zoom is
I
like...
think that's more Zoom than it is our actual.
I wonder if Zoom's getting DDoS or something, because my internet is absurd.
Prime Zoom time.
Get off Zoom, all you people, or I'm going to Google Meet.
Yeah.
Get the hell off and let us play.
Uh-oh.
Go to Google Meet.
Is it called something different? Did they change Hangouts?
Yeah, it's Google Meet now.
Uh-oh. Everybody's face is frozen. Nope, Anna's starting to move.
Yeah, we're all frozen. Uh-oh. All right, this is technical difficulties, but this is like...
Yeah, Royce frozen for me.
This is Zoom difficulties, FYI. We are good. Zoom is experiencing technical difficulties.
Yeah, get your shit together, Zoom.
Uh-oh. Let's see, how do we check out Zoom? Is Zoom dying? Is Zoom under attack?
The platform is flooded.
No! Zoom, we need
It's
you.
just everybody talking to their mamas.
All right, let's see. I could do Google Meet. Can I do Google Meet? I could set up Google Meet in like 10 minutes. Wait, I think we're back. Are we back? We're sort of back.
So maybe during break?
It's kind of. It seems to be working normally.
I see
Yeah.
phone bounce around.
It's kind of
Everybody
there.
looks fine now.
All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We got
It's
and it seems like
better.
we have
Maybe
audio.
It's good.
Okay.
We have audio, so that'll have to do for now. Audio will have to do for now. All right, I'm sorry, Ordath. Yeah, so we had some. Bees is telling us about
fifth
his
level.
Let's see.
Ordath 5th level.
Yes, 5th level cleric. I get the wonderful power added to my turn undead of destroy undead. So when I yell at those heathens to be gone, if they are a small enough CR rating, they will just in the dust. And other than that, nothing really changes. Oh, I get two spell slots, 3rd level spell slots.
Yeah. So what new spells are you taking? That's actually for me the most important thing
Other
that I
than
want to know about.
Thanosing the undead.
Call the power of thunderstorms.
No, I don't get anything special from Tempest until level 6.
I'm just curious what spells you're taking because spells are a
You
big.
get 2 Tempest 3rd level
Boo.
spells that are always prepared, though.
Yeah, don't you get like call lightning or something?
What? Call what?
Yeah,
No,
you
that's
can call
level
the
6.
power of the thunder. Lightning.
Thunder.
Call
the
lightning.
thunder.
Yeah,
Very,
I
very
can call
frightening.
lightning at level 6.
As a
Yeah,
Tempest.
it's gonna be a big. Yeah, next level up is
All
a
right,
beast.
swear to God, if you get us another copyright issue,
My singing's bad enough that they're not going to figure that out. Don't worry.
Got Call Lightning and Sleet
Fine if
Storm
you
as
say
the
it,
main
they're not gonna
spells.
pick that
And
up.
And oh shit!
Oh
Oh no, it is 5th level.
Oh, you owe John a
Damn it.
drink.
The other thing I looked at said 6th level.
Yeah, you owe John a
Yeah,
drink.
never mind. I get Call Lightning and Sleet Storm. So bye bye.
So those are all. Wait,
I do.
those are always
I got you,
prepared.
John.
How does that work?
So yeah, I get Call Lightning and Sleet Storm. So I'm about to just wreck some stuff.
All right. And what other 3rd level spells did you
Let
take?
me look at my spell slots because I think I gotta swap some stuff out. Which
Main
if that's
spells
the
are
case, I
always
got it
ready.
Real quick.
Nice. All right, you do that, John.
Yeah, that's always prep.
They're always ready.
You
you
Hot
can
damn.
prepare
Specific
other 3rd
spell.
level if you want.
Riggedy rigged.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, John. Tell us about the
Zavroski
5th level
continues
Great
being
Zavroski.
Better and better. Glamour Bard. Continues to become a better and better Glamour Bard. He's now 5th level, which gives him his good old Bardic inspirations on short rest now, instead of all day, instead of long rest.
Hey.
Knows out more. And 3rd level spells. Just picking up Hypnotic Pattern. Stop people in their tracks to look at shiny
Nice.
objects in the
ooh,
sky.
that's a good one.
Ooh. Look at the light show.
Okay. Hypnotic pattern. Sorry, I'm looking at our technical stuff. Hello.
God, our videos are like completely frozen on stream.
Yeah, I know. This kind of stinks, man. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. We can't control Zoom.
Zoom is not having a good time.
I bet they're being. We've never had a problem with Zoom. I bet like there's some huge DDoS attack or something against like their server or something, like because Zoom has always been really, really good for us.
Had a problem soon.
Actually, I had a problem. We did have problems since this whole new
think it's
security
Didn't
stuff
we have a
came
problem
up.
Where Zoom literally,
So much
That's
crap.
true.
all of our cameras froze and you had
Yeah.
to fix it.
No, everything was good until the whole world started using Zoom,
Yeah.
and then
We
they
had problems
did all these
on Saturday
updates,
with
and then
Zoom a
like,
couple times.
yeah, fucking Zoom. All right, we're gonna try Zoom. We're gonna try Google Meet. I think that's my up next on my list is Google Meet.
Updates broke stuff?
Just
No.
as a software developer, I can tell you my updates never break anything.
Oh, man.
John, have you ever made an update that broke something?
Yeah, totally. I've never had to make a fix to my own code ever. Clearly.
Very good, very good. Yeah, one of the best parts of being a programmer is looking at code.
Perfect the first time.
Yeah,
I don't think he's telling the truth there.
I don't either. Tell you, one of the best parts of being a programmer is looking at code and thinking, "What idiot wrote this garbage?" and then realizing, "Oh, shit, I did that like a year ago." Okay, fine, whatever. Stupid.
It was you 3 months ago.
Yeah, well, yeah. It was. We often use, hey, look, that was, look, younger me clearly did not understand what we were trying to do here. So I can't really speak for younger me, but today me recognizes that we need to do something differently.
Yeah.
So today me is realizing that we are having some serious connectivity issues. What do we do with that?
He recognizes younger me was an idiot. Yeah.
Though once you get to be a certain age, and John, you haven't gotten here yet, but once you get to be a certain age, there's also the moments where you're looking at code and you're looking back and like, oh, what genius wrote this? I can't even understand this. This is way smart code. And you're like, oh, that was smarter me. Now I'm older, dumber me. I'm just like getting, yeah. It's 40. 40's the age. Like you're your potential and your capabilities are like, yeah, and then 40, like, 40.
And that's when you start delegating more, right?
That's when I start delegating a lot more to the younger, smarter guys. Sorry. What are we doing this programming nerd stuff? I'm sort of wasting time trying to see if Zoom will clear up, is what I'm doing, to be honest.
We can hear what JT's doing with his level up.
I think it's that time. So let's see. So the rest of you guys all wake up in the spirits of the Hydra. Jake, tell us a little bit about your morning and your new experience.
Jake awakes from his opium-infused binge from the night before. The horse in his stay right now, kind of laying to either side of the bed as he kind of gets up out of bed. His head's spinning right now. He almost feels sick. He has to run for like the latrine or whatever it would be in this fine establishment. Or a bucket, a chair with a bucket in it, basically.
Depends on how fine an establishment you went to last night.
He pukes all over the place. Pukes like just projectile vomit as he wakes up. And he kind of stands up and he wipes his face clean and he looks to the mirror and he notices, because he's standing there naked, that there's like a sheen in the firelight of the candles in the room. There's like a sheen to his skin, and even in some places on his chest and lower abdomen, legs, and a couple places in his arms, it's actually got a scale-like feature as he becomes a draconic sorcerer, and his bond with Zelipharn seems to be fully awakened. Not fully awakened, but awakening further. And he is now a draconic sorcerer with the bronze dragon ancestor, which means he has electricity coursing through his body, which will come much more handy later on down the road. But he also feels a connection with not just Zelipharn, but all dragons, as he now can speak, read, and write Draconic.
Dragon Bros.
That's right. So he adds Draconic to his list of things that he can speak, read, and write, but he also feels that connection in a different way with the Draconic ancestor. He gains I get to add my proficiency bonus is doubled when making charisma checks interacting with any dragons. So now dealing with dragons is a little bit easier for Jake, especially since he was already a charismatic guy. He also, noticing the scales on his body, feels almost like a plating on his skin as he gains Draconic resilience, which gives him basically AC is equal to 13 plus his dexterity modifier, so that is better than even having studded leather at this point. Wearing no armor, giving him an armor class of 16. But
so the base.
Naked Jake is tough.
So the base AC is
lowest AC world.
The base AC is 10 plus your dex, right? Like normal naked human is 10. So now your base AC is 13 due to this.
Right.
Wow.
The scales and kind of sheen of the dragon's skin that Jake has taken on.
Damn.
Is giving him a little natural armor, which is actually better than the armor he was wearing before. Because he was wearing standard leather, which was only a 14. And even with mage armor, it wasn't that good. But he also gained some more constitution, not in the way of constitution, but in the way of an additional hit point from this skin. And he will gain another one for each level that he puts into this class.
It's actually retroactive, so you can add for...
Yeah, but it only counts for this class.
Oh, okay.
It specifically states that it's only for sorcerer levels. So, unfortunately, I thought that too, but it doesn't apply to all, unfortunately.
Okay, you have higher HP than Elona anyway, so it's all that matters.
He now has 43 HP.
Hey. More HP than I do.
Oh, yeah, Elona, you are way the weakest. You have the worst AC. The next lowest...
I got 43 too.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, we're the 43 triplets. Get it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Your friend line is the squishy one.
Yeah. So that's cool. So what's your plan for the day, Jake? You wake up here, you sort of, spinning, your head is spinning, you've got a lot going on in your brain from last night, and you're kind of like just reviewing all the events from last night, and you've got all this anger, this frustration, all these different thoughts. You've also got those this big sheaf of notes that you haven't gotten to look at yet. That you know,
just about to say that's when he kind of remembers
Yeah.
those notes.
Does Jake have his normal eyes, or does he have like draconic eyes?
Let's go with the eye. He hasn't noticed that, but let's go with the eyes are draconic, and you guys can notice that later.
Oh, crazy eyes.
I like it.
Bring back crazy eyes.
Yeah.
He didn't notice the eyes. He was too he was focused in on the scales that are kind of growing in
Oh
sections
shit!
of
Is
his
Jake
body.
going through second puberty? Is he gonna get really really horny and angry all of the time now?
His hormones are all out of whack.
Yeah.
He's lashing out.
Isn't he already horny and angry?
You're right.
Well, no,
So
that
is
was the
Elona.
hormones building to this.
He's there already.
All right. So Jake, what's your plan for the day? It's a new day here in the city of Waterdeep.
He's gonna first, as he remembers the notes. That's his key because he's focused back on the Growlhounds. He's got it. His mind seems a little bit clearer this morning after once everything kind of the daze wears off and the shock and the sickness that he was hit with this morning wears off. He's kind of thinking a little bit more clearly, it seems, but still furious to a point.
Okay.
Angry about what happened with Cole, what happened with Elona, and that the Growlhounds are still getting away with the murder of Auntie Ruth, as far as he's concerned.
Yeah.
And so his first thought is the notes. Maybe something within the notes will give him some kind of way to search. Now he's focused on that revenge still. And so he pulls the notes from his jacket and kind of pours over everything. And as he's kind of reading through these notes,
So you're gonna hang
his
out here
eyes,
in the
open
opium
and,
den. You're gonna
The
hang out
opium
here in the opium den, just hanging out.
I mean, it's still the morning. It doesn't take that long to read notes.
Sure. You can go over it, take a little bit. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Hey, they don't kick me out until 2 p.m., all right? I got till 2 p.m.
I paid for 12 hours, damn it.
I know how these things work. Speaking of pain, Jake, what does a night in an opium den cost? How much fun did you have last night?
You asking
I mean,
him
I
how
would
much
think,
a whore
like-
costs in Waterdeep?
No, I'm asking how much.
Yeah,
You can
like-
spend as much or as little as you want on a night with a whore in Waterdeep, right? And so I'm just kind of curious what sort of what a night of
I think
binging
he went
looks
for
like
the deluxe package.
money wise. I'm just curious, right? Because you can start off pretty cheap, right? If you got a shard, you can get laid in Waterdeep. Sure, you can get high for a shard in Waterdeep, but you could spend, So I'm curious what he spent on that. That's all.
The night with the room and the opium and the alcohol and the 2 whores. I think there might have been a third there at some point. I don't know, but
Up to you.
there's at least 2 because that's when he woke up.
Somebody just walked in nude and took money and walked out. Like,
Look at that.
Dude, that's my new hustle. Just gonna walk in naked, be like, pay me, and then leave.
yeah.
You got to make sure it's further in the night
works,
so that
it
they've
works.
been doing that opium for a while.
Oh yeah.
I would say he probably went through at least 8 dragons based on the prices that you gave there.
Pretty solid night. All right. Very solid night. All right, so you are going to go through the notes. So let's see. Let's
His
secure.
eyes kind of at some points open in wonder and realization to some things, putting some pieces together as he reads through these notes.
Yeah.
And as he kind of finishes them, he kind of reads over them very not quickly, he's intent. He's focused on these notes, almost like he's trying to remember them, key them to his memory. And as he kind of finishes with the notes, he takes them and kind of holds them in front of him, and he puts them over a candle flame and watches as they go up in fire. And he kind of throws them into the toilet.
Nice.
You mean into your vomit bucket?
Yeah, well, I mean, he knows there's liquid in there.
All right, so let me ask you this as a DM who spent time writing these notes.
As someone who spent time.
I wrote every single one of these notes.
You just broke Roy's heart.
So let me ask you a question. DM to player who just shit on 9 hours of my work. Just quick question.
Oh, you're right. I borrowed.
Jake effectively has 140 IQ.
No, I borrowed a
Every
bunch of
point
these notes.
intelligence is
No.
times 10.
I'm just from the perspective of my original idea was that I would just give these notes like share the notes, like post them, and then the party and the viewers could see
Surprise.
all of these great notes, but now they're burned.
Looks
So
like you're just giving them to Jake.
The notes are up here. But
Yeah.
you can share the notes when Jake shares his information that he's got up here. But now your notes are they're in here. That's all.
Just give them to Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Just give
well,
him
I've
to Jake.
done that. Okay, Jake has the notes, but I. Okay, no, that's good. That's good.
I'm going to share some of this shit right now, okay?
Okay, no matter what Jake tells Elona, she's not gonna understand it anyway.
It's fine.
I don't
You
need
share
the
them in
fucking.
chunks now. Is Jake?
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. This is how I hope this would turn out.
You're gonna
This is
make Roy
fine.
cry? Can we rename this? Do you mean to rename this episode? We make our DM cry because I can do that real
Yeah.
fast.
No, actually.
This is
How do we
almost
rename
as
this?
bad as like last episode if he would have brought in Minuteman and before anybody walked out to see him, he got hit with a fireball.
No, that wouldn't have happened.
Then he
because,
would have just been like,
oh no, I was using that goddamn. No. I love D&D.
or
I
it would
do.
have been like, all of a sudden he dodges the fireball. I don't know
Whoa,
what he does.
guys, he's like at a level of monk now.
All of a
something.
sudden, he has evasion as a wizard.
All right, so actually, okay,
Do your
so
wizards not have evasion?
it is 9 o'clock, so I can actually take a break to go cry off camera. That's good.
Trying to your bourbon.
That's right. Yeah. In fact, I do. I'm gonna go actually make this. I deserve a drink for this. Okay. Good idea. Good call, Anna. Let's see. Where are we? Oh yeah. So Jake. Okay. So basically, your plan for today. I gotta get. I'm.
Oh man.
Jake, you just fucked him up so much. He
Yeah,
forgot
I'm
English
sorry.
for a goddamn second.
How about a, who about a, he be a, how about a,
Roy.exe is no longer working.
all right.
Oh, my lord.
Yeah,
Roy,
let's-
He's buffering just like Zoom.
Play the intro.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. All right. Break.
Play the
break.
trailer,
Go to
just
break.
keep adding them. Play
Send-
every version of the trailer I have. Like, just
Send
keep
Roy to
going.
break quick. All right, we are going to take a quick 5-minute break. We will be
my
back.
God.
It's 9:01. We will be back in 5 minutes. 6 minutes past the hour. We will resume. See you then. No, I actually don't want you to complain. It's fine. I'm better now. It's okay. Yeah, I'm better now. It's okay, right? It's sometimes as a dungeon master, you know this. You do these things, you put work into these things, and then
Text Roy's wife and see if he was crying.
Look, I was crying, okay? Like, I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm like, whatever, I'm a grown man. I can cry if I want to cry.
He's like, yeah, he was sobbing for some reason.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's not like I made these notes and had to go in and put, like, formatting things, to, like, format them in different ways for the different pieces of all this. No. Whatever. No, it's fine. So Jake, let's see. So we're going to continue the scene where Jake is sort of standing in front of this mirror in this opium den, the couple of horrors on side of the bed there, and him sort of admiring in wonder his newfound draconic-ishness. He remembers these notes, this sort of pile of notes that he quickly just threw together and put in there, and he finds a space back on the bed. And he starts reading through them, and it's a bit to read. It's going to probably take you a couple hours to go through all this, but for now, I guess that'll be your plan, to sort of go through these notes.
Desk in the room. I have till 2 p.m.
Okay, all right. So let's close. What? Icky's here.
And she dropped some inspiration for me and Cole.
Get what? Wait a minute.
Naked.
Because they're naked.
Speaking of naked, Fox, I have a very important question. Are the scales also on your penis?
What? Wait, no, we don't.
Ribbed for her pleasure.
I want to know.
Does that mean his dick gets an increase in AC as well?
Icky,
Definitely.
That's very important for nut shots.
I blame Icky for this. Icky, this happened when you got here. Just want you to know. This is what you've done to the channel. Thank you very much. Hang on, I'm going to make sure I get the. She gave inspiration to
Me and Jake.
Hold on, I'm going to make sure I get that marked. Hold on. All right, Fox inspiration, Cole inspiration. Got you. Got to make sure we take care of. Well.
This does always happen when you get here, Ricky.
Oh boy.
Ricky is the bad influence on all of us. Don't let anyone tell you.
That's great. She's like 50% of the reason for our mature rating on the channel. Thanks a lot. No, good to see you, babe. Good to see you. All right, so we close that scene. We open back a scene in Spirits of the Hydra. So everyone sort of gets up today. Who has plans for this day? Who? Oh, by the way, who has the stone?
I'll add it.
I do.
All right, Hector actually has the stone. All right, I'm sorry. Cole has the stone in his possession. Okay, and all right. So, anybody have plans for today?
Cole has to pass by the leather worker to pick up a gauntlet that he had custom made.
Okay. Cool. I mean, whoops, easily done. That's the guy in here in the alley here.
But,
Troll Scott.
Ordoff needs to.
What's that leather gauntlet about?
Oh no, I was gonna say that Ordoff is gonna.
That's the gauntlet that he had commissioned to hold the wand of detect magic, because he was getting rid of the invocation.
Okay, sure. All right, so yeah, you can pick that up. So you've got a leather.
It's a leather strapped gauntlet with a metal case on the top that houses the wand to protect it, but just so he has access to it, but he doesn't actually have to hold it.
Cool. All right, fair enough. All right, so you're picking that up. Anything else, like sort of roughly plans for the day, or?
Other than that, that was it.
Okay.
Then heading back to the bar, waiting for the aftermath.
Gotcha. All right, Ordath, plans for the day?
He's gonna pretty much just kind of walk around town, seeing if he can get any inkling as to because he wants to commune with Cord, so he's gonna see if there's some kind of look up in the sky, check the weather, and if not, then he's gonna probably head towards the nearest temple.
Okay, so you headed for Temple of Cord. All right, got you. Zavroski, anything you have planned for today?
Broski's gonna pick out some fine leathers to find some studded leather.
Oh yeah, easy enough. All right, it's today
wearing regular.
Is today a Castellanter day or no?
I am unaware of whether it is or not.
Shit. All right, that means I got to pull up my count. Hold on. I actually am in the process of switching over the campaign from, or switching to Kanka.io, which is a really good system, by the way. I like those guys a lot. And they have a calendar.
Because the last day took about 3 sessions.
Yeah, I don't think. All right, we'll say no. All right, so you're just gonna pick out some leather. Otherwise, okay. Elona.
And he also wants to send a. Is there like runners in the city? He wants to get in contact with Mert to see if he's got any information for the group.
You can. I mean, yeah, you could go visit. You could hire a sort of there's a system of messengers who will like take a note securely to another place, such like that. There's paper birds.
How much would that cost? Like a shard?
Let's see. For a runner to securely deliver a message, that would be 2 shards.
Done. He's just telling Mert to meet them at the Spirits of the Hider when he has a moment. Preferably today.
All right, yeah. You flag down the group. There's a runners guild that they call them. The under pedestrian system of
You've already done it wrong because it's USPS if you're going for the United States Postal Service.
Fuck. Damn it. All right. It's the
Dyslexia strikes again.
I need a drink. Damn
Aren't you a
it.
dad? Shouldn't you be good at puns? Like, isn't that a thing that happens when you become a dad?
I'm not sleeping a lot these days. I'm not going to pretend to be on the top of my game right now. All right. I'll give inspiration to the person who comes up with the best name for a system of runners who can deliver messages around the system, whose acronym is USPS, but is not related to the United States Postal System.
Do we have to do it, or can we make chat do it?
I don't care. Look,
Can I
chat.
just choose my favorite one from chat?
Oh, absolutely.
Do it for me. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you're chatting with us now, we need a system of message delivery in Waterdeep whose acronym will be USPS. That's what I need. Here we go. In the meantime, okay, yeah. So you're contacting Mert, asking Mert for basically to come say hi.
Yep.
All right. Elona, you got any plans for today? Did you sort of wake up
Being hungover and waiting for Jake.
waiting for Jake? Okay.
Being hungover and waiting for Jake.
All right. So,
I like that one, Icky.
Jake, Ultra service? Ultra? I don't know if I like Ultra service.
Umbral. Go with Umbral.
Umbral.
Speed. Parcel senders. There you go. Umbral speed. I don't know if Umbrals are fast. I don't even really know what an Umbral is.
It just sounds like right for the game, right? Umbral sounds like something in the game of Dungeons and Dragons. Umbral speed parcel senders. Yeah, okay, sold. Umbral speed.
I believe that's an inspiration split between Vicky and Fox.
All right. In fact, I tell you what, Icky, since she
now and half later.
since she figured out Icky can have a free inspiration for anyone she wants. She can decide who gets an inspiration. In the meantime, Jake, you got the most interesting story going on today so far. So you spend a couple hours kind of going in here. In fact, during that time, the whores wake up and inquire if you need any more services. You sort of wave them off like fine. They actually come in and one of the servants there says, "My lord, anything I can get for you this morning?"
Water, and that's it.
Just water. Fine. Okay. So you get water. So a couple hours of reading the notes, you absorb all the notes, and when you're done, you set them to fire and burn them. They're now all in your brain, roughly. What's your plan now? Since nobody now knows what you've read, since it's now a secret that I can't show to everybody. But I'm not bitter about that.
At a later date.
It's fine.
It'll be a later
not
date
bitter.
when you can show the notes. Jake, as he kind of burns the notes and he's sitting there, and he's thinking about what he's read in the notes. He's thinking about what kind of options he has now. He could go back to the Xanathars. He could try and use them and offer up his life to the Xanathars once again to try and get his revenge on the Growlhoons. He doesn't know how he can return to the Spirit of the Hydra right now. He's just spinning emotions in his head of the things that he could do. He could go and just try and take his revenge on the Growlhoons now that Cole and Elona aren't there to stop him. He could go and just take his revenge or attempt to take his revenge himself. And as he's kind of going into rage and emotion and he's not sure how to deal with his friends that he's not even sure are his friends right now, he realizes that there's something wrong. There's something else going on inside him. There's something to do with the scales and the feeling that he's getting and then the raging emotions that he's going through. That menopause hype.
You go through male menopause.
Getting hot flashes. His nipples are sore.
He's got scales everywhere but his nipples.
It's the scales on his nipples that are making them sore, sir.
Oh God,
Ew.
they're really pointy.
They're pointy and they're sharp.
His shirts are fucked from now on.
Just
No
two
shirts.
holes.
Just a
every
leather
shirt.
jacket from now on. And he's got to replace the leather jacket all the time because it's always getting just slashed up eventually. No, but he realizes now that there's something wrong. There's something more. The dragon blood coursing through his veins now, though it has given him this power, it's also having some kind of other effect that's he's coming to realize that it's there. And there's only one place he can think of to go where he might be able to get some help with this right now. And that would be to Vajra, the Black Stone.
Yeah, that's the only reason, and not because you're horny and going through second puberty.
There's that too. But he
I
feels,
actually
he feels
have
like
a thing.
Vajra, with all her infinite wisdom as the Black Staff and her knowledge of the magics and the weave, and her connection to the weave directly, she may be the one that can kind of help him calm what's going on in his soul right now.
All right. So you head over
Actually,
to.
the thing Elona would like to do.
All right. So you head over to the tower.
Cut to somebody else.
Oh, cut somebody else. Okay, Elona, you suggest something you want to do.
The Dark Tower.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go talk to my dad and see if he has any idea of how to help Jake. Because my first thought would be to go tell Jake's dad, but that's a horrible idea. So I'm gonna go talk to my dad, and then if my dad says to go talk to Jake's dad, we'll go from there.
All right, you can go see your dad. Sure, yeah. Pop over to your dad. We'll. Yeah. We're unstable again. I know it sucks. we'll just go through it. If audio cuts out, we'll be in a lot more trouble.
There's nothing we can really do.
Yeah. So if audio goes out, we'll be in more trouble. But for now, it seems like audio is roughly working with a lot of lag. Okay, fine. Yeah, you can go see your dad. He is of course, at the Melshimber estate, and you know where to find him pretty easily. You head there, and the guards there are like, it's the what's her name again?
Every time.
It's
Every
Anna.
time.
It's,
oh my god.
Ellen. No. We know who you are. Come on in.
No,
You're
keep
going.
guessing. I'll wait here until you're done.
Oh yeah. No. Arana. No. Aaron.
That's great. Just whatever you want to call me. I really don't. Yep, Aaron. You knew it. Oh my god. Finally you got my name.
I told you. Sorry. Come on in. Yeah, so you find your dad. He's actually in his office. Sort of he heads the guard of the Melshimber estate, and he's got an entire office that's there. And he gets in. And you knock on the door and you enter, and you go in, and he sees you, and his face lightens up. He's, Elona, my dear, what do I owe this
Apparently
unexpected?
My name is Aaron now, according to the idiots at the front gate.
They have many things. They have many things to keep track of. They recognize you.
The only 6'8" half-orc who's probably coming in here. You'd think they'd remember my name.
I do indeed, and he sort of goes over and embraces you, and in that awkward like hug thing, right? Because he's a lot shorter than you, so it's like he tries to be like the father, but he's like reaching up, you know. But he's like, "Oh, my daughter, it is so good to see you. I am. Come sit, please. Can I give you some tea?"
I hear it's calming.
I have water as well, if you'd like.
Never mind. No, not what. Not. Little offended that you don't remember. Never mind. I have a question.
Oh, wait. He goes and he sits in his chair. He buckles his seatbelt. Okay. Yes, my daughter. Well, how can I help you?
Seatbelt installed. That's pretty cool.
Well, you know, when you're the father of Elona, seatbelts are good.
So Jakey ran away.
What?
Yeah, he. So remember
We must tell Lord Melshimber. He sort of stands up. And,
wait.
Okay. Yes.
Horrible idea. I thought about it for a second, and I'm like, ooh, that cunt would probably hate this situation and blame me for it. So
Elona.
no.
Elona, that is not how we refer to the Lord Melshimber. He is
Sorry,
a magister.
Lord cunt. My bad.
Daughter. he's sort of he like, and it's funny because this is your father. He knows you, and he tries to be upset with you, but he's just like, this is who she is. So he sort of like has this sort of smile on his face as he shakes his head. He's like, daughter. Anyway, I'm sorry, Jake. He's missing.
Missing maybe not the best term for where he is, but we got into an argument after he wanted to light someone's house on fire and kill a bunch of people, and then he ran away.
That does not sound like Jake. Jake is not the type who would do that. What's going on?
I know. I suggested we TP their house, and he was like, "No, that's not enough." And I was very confused. But no, he wanted to light someone's house on fire.
What's going on, Elona?
Unimportant. All that matters is I don't know where to find Jake.
I'm not convinced it's unimportant. Whose house is Jake trying to burn down?
Well, he didn't burn it down, so that's all that really matters, because I talked him out of it. Your daughter talked him out of it.
Yes, and that is good. But now you've lost him, and Elona, we cannot allow Jake to burn houses down. And if there is a threat to
I already did it.
If there's a threat to some poor family here in town, we must protect.
Poor isn't really the right word.
He's not threatening a noble, Elona.
Not out loud to where they could have heard it.
He actually falls back in his chair.
That's why the seatbelt's there.
Elona, you realize even threatening a noble can put you in jail in this town. Attacking or harming a noble
Didn't do it out loud.
is a capital
No one knows
offense.
except for me.
You would be put to death if you even harmed a noble in Waterdeep.
Good thing I'm not doing it.
By the gods. I always knew Jake was trouble. Which is this funny classic thing, right? Because your dad is convinced that Jake is always the troublemaker, and Jake's dad is convinced that you're the troublemaker. So, like, both of the dads are convinced that the other, He's like, I knew this.
I would never do anything wrong ever.
Yeah, well, your dad believes that, roughly,
Are we sure?
He gives you a lot of benefit of the doubt. But yeah, he's like, God, all right,
Really,
we
the
have to
only
find
thing
him.
that's important is trying to figure out where Jakey would be. You're a man, and at some point in your life, I'm pretty sure you've been upset. Where would you go?
Me?
I'm pretty sure at some point in your life you wanted to burn someone's house down. Where would you go?
Well, for the record, I've never burned anyone's house down. I'll let you know that.
But have you wanted to?
Perhaps many people have deserved their houses
Exactly,
burned
where
down.
would you go?
Well,
Otherwise, I have to go talk to Lord Cunt Melshimber, and he's just gonna get really upset. So,
Elona,
what? I used his proper title. I am confused.
he gives you the dad look, and you're like, the dad look, Elona.
Sorry.
We at least on his estate. Can we please respect him just a small bit? Thank you.
Can I?
Fine. If I were a young man looking to ease my troubles, drugs are a good way to do that. Women are a good way to do that. Drink is a good way to do that. One or all of those three, I think, I would go to.
Okay, so that narrows down nothing, because you can find those everywhere.
Yes, though mostly that type of activity would be in the southern part of the city, the dock ward, of course. And I do know Jake a bit. I do consider him not my son, but someone very close to my heart, indeed. As you know, I have known him for his entire life. I would look for him in the dock ward. If he is going back to old Jake, well, I might
Well, if he's going back to old Jake, he would have agreed to TP the house with me, but apparently not.
Yes. But Jake has also been known to dally. He has visited places like opium dens, bars that have women who sell themselves, places like that. He's been known to.
Okay, he never did that when I was here. Was that a new thing? Did he start doing that when he came back?
Look, look. When you were gone, Jake lost his way a bit. You were an anchor for him. You were a tether that anchored
That was
him.
a poor decision on his part.
I don't agree, my daughter. I believe you are one of the best things that's ever happened to Jake, in fact. And when you were gone, while you were gone, he struggled to find his way for a long time. You may not understand just how important you are to him and how much he leans upon you as a force of stability in his life. This is simply an observation from the captain of the guard of this estate. I don't know him. Jake and I have never been particularly close to one another. I am very aware of his comings and goings. I'll say that. It's my job, after all. And I do care for Jake deeply. Care for Jake deeply. But I do not know that he's particularly fond of me, though he is, as I said, close to my heart. I would look in those places if he were gone and if he were really searching to try to find his way. He may be flailing about looking for some tether, some anchor, some place of stability. If you're not it, I don't know where that might be.
Okay, one final question, and then I gotta go and try and find Jakey.
Yes, you should do that.
So remember when Jake and I found that seal that said Lord Melshimber was marked for death? Where would one keep that? Like I know you kept it. Where would one keep it at? Like where is it? I kind of want to look at it because I didn't get a chance to look at it, and I want to make sure in case one comes my way.
He crosses his arms and looks at you.
I want to make sure if one comes my way, I'll be able to recognize it because Jakey was the one who recognized it. But Dad.
Elona.
Yes. Where is it?
That is not of your concern. That is a big deal. That is what's going on, Elona?
I understand it's a big deal. That's why I want to look at it in case it ever comes my way. That way I'll know, and I don't have to rely on Jakey, especially if he's fucking someone or something.
I'm not even giving. Well, all right. I'm gonna give you a persuasion roll. At disadvantage because this is your father. It's your father, Elona.
Which is why it should be advantage.
No, he knows you better than. Yeah, he knows you.
Oof. 3?
Doesn't even matter. He's like, Elona, go find your friend. Be there for him.
Go find Lord Melshimber. Ask him the same question. Okay, bye.
I love you, my child. Be safe.
Love you too. Bye.
All right. So Elona has visited her father. Let's see. Nobody else, I think. Oh no. Ardath, you actually had. Let's see. So you're headed to you're looking for communing. You also mentioned.
What's the weather like?
Oh, today is clear and cool. It is a fantastic bluebird day.
Look for, how far is the nearest Cord Temple?
In town somewhere. Sure, there's one somewhere.
Okay. Actually, yeah, I'll go there.
All right, so I'm looking at macro this day. So, what's your goal at the Cord Temple?
To fuck somebody up so I can commune with Cord and ask him some stuff, as well as bring in my new powers, kind of thing. Mainly just to talk to him and get some guidance from him.
All right. Okay. Let's see. All right. Mechanically speaking, what does that mean? Like game mechanics?
What do you mean? Like, I'm planning on going to the temple to fight someone, and through that display for Cord, hoping to get his get some kind of anything from him in regards to either the path. I'm actually looking for two things. One, any information I can get or any guidance I can get in regards to Jet. Also, anything in regards to Jake.
Okay. And I know we talked offline a little bit. You had said that are you planning on following up with your contact you made with Davil? Because you guys had talked and he said he was going to.
Yeah, that's that guy. I'm just waiting to hear back. I met him once through Zavroski, right?
No, that was Mert that you met through Zavroski.
Oh, okay.
Dabo was the Zentarum guy that you met with Elona, I'm assuming.
Okay. So yeah. So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for one of them to tell me something from that. I don't know how to contact that guy.
Yeah.
So, that's why I'm kind of just heading to the temple, seeing if I can get some kind of guidance.
Okay, I want to hand wave this a little bit, just sort of for the sake of story stuff. You can go to the Temple of Cord. You can have a trial or whatever, however Cord works.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to get much in the way of information or guidance from Cord himself at this point.
Okay. So then, kind of dejected, he'll start making his way back to the spirits of the Hydra.
Yeah. Okay, so you go to the temple and you kind of have your trial. So is that a common thing for priests of Cord, this sort of combat type thing, or
yeah, because he's his whole thing is power. So you usually, instead of like sacrifices or any kind of offerings like that, they usually have like bouts and things to display their power as a, to one, prove that they are strong and worthy of Cord, and as well it's kind of the whole exchange of blows is like their form of a an appeasement to the gods.
Cool. All right, let's see, let's make this let's do a
Oh god,
what kind of check do we do for this? Goodness.
Is it
checks.
is it battle, or is it like, or is it more like
it's
wrestling?
like fisticuffs. Yeah.
Like a skill challenge, like
Athletics.
do
Alright.
three opposed athletic checks or something.
Let's
like
do-
It's
that.
a mercy fight.
Yeah, let's do
Bare hands, no weapons, just
yeah. All right, well, let's maybe
mano.
let's just to short make this an athletics check. We'll do an athletics check. Is that strong check for you?
Survey says yes.
All right, so do an athletics check. Let's see how successful roughly your day at the temple is.
Come on, show me that beautiful bean footage.
24. All right. So you do. You
That's
actually
a big boy.
Yeah, he does. He presents himself at the temple, and you are met with a few different acolytes who accept your challenge gladly. You dominate them. You, at the end of the day, you are not successful in getting any sort of revelations from Cord himself, but you do definitely make a solid name for yourself, a solid appearance at the temple. So you are now a known name at the Temple of Cord, in fact. So we're going to give you two... hang on.
Ooh, 2 points of influence.
2 Temple of Cord.
Ooh.
They crush their head between thighs like sparrow eggs.
Yeah, so we'll give you
Right,
2
thank you.
reputation at the Temple of Cord. So you've established yourself as being new in town. You're here. You've dominated the acolytes, and some of the actual priests and stuff have taken note of you.
Well, not necessarily new, because this is my second
We're
time
turning.
here. Yeah, remember the whole Elona thing?
That's right. That's right.
So
Yeah.
I'm returning. They're like, "Oh, you've gotten bigger. Oh, welcome back. Haven't seen you in years." And then I go in and straight DDT the shit out of somebody.
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
like, oh, it's good.
They do. In
Catch
fact,
my face on the concrete.
yeah. All right, so you definitely established yourself as a force of Cord here in the city of Waterdeep. In fact, one of the clerics approaches you, and she is like, you, and she is a human, but a brute of a human. And she says, you represent yourself well. Would you be interested in working here at the temple, providing services for those coming in, those of need who come and ask for them?
While I am in town, I have no issues helping out the temple as much as I can.
Excellent.
The reason I am here, though, is I do not know if you remember the last time I was here. I was with the priest Jet. Do you remember him, Fire Genasi?
The fire. Yes, I do. In fact, yes, he was a wonderful
I was
man.
a little shorter back then, but
You were much. You were smaller than him then. And she looks up.
Yes.
Oh well.
He's actually gone missing, and I'm searching for him. So that is actually why I am in town right now. So if you had any information, if you have seen him, anything to help out would be appreciated.
I have not, but I will certainly ask around. Yes. So, what days will you be available to perform services for those in need? We can get you into our schedule if you don't mind.
I mean, for the most part, I'm pretty open on my schedule.
Ah, excellent.
am
So every day
staying-
then you can come here. We begin our services
Damn.
one bell after sunrise, and we close services, of course, one bell before sunrise. So you could
Yes.
be here every day then.
I cannot. Because remember, I am also looking for Jet.
Ooh.
I have no issues dedicating time to the temple to help.
Yes, yes.
But I
Okay,
do
so
need
what
to
time
find
could
him.
you dedicate?
I can stop by every other day.
Every other day. All right, from a bell after sunrise to a bell before sunset?
Sure.
Oh, that is fantastic. Cord be praised. We are short on services. The city is large on need. Can we continue starting tomorrow, perhaps?
Actually, the day after would be better.
Indeed. Cord be praised. Audath, it is a incredible pleasure to meet you. Hang on, I gotta write my notes before I forget.
All I'm saying is, if Ordath tells Elona that he, just goes and spars, she'll go with him. She'll join God
Oh,
Fight
she'll be
Club.
like, what? Wait,
She'll
Cord?
gladly join God Fight Club.
Cord is what I've wanted my whole
Praise
life.
be, baby. Praise be.
You'll join Cord Fight Club. Let's go.
Okay, cool. So
And on that day, I saw the light.
As I was punching this dude in the throat.
all right, so she's like, Cord be praised. Thank you, brother.
Be praised.
Go in peace, and we shall see you tomorrow. No, the day after tomorrow.
Yes.
Indeed. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. What else is going on right now? All right. I think Jake. I think we're at Vajra. You're at the door,
Oh.
and the door opens,
Riff-raff.
and you rang.
Riff Raff.
And Jake looks disparaged. He looks lost. And he looks at Riff Raff. He's like, Riff Raff, I know. We don't see eye to eye all the time, but I desperately need to speak to Vajra.
Well, that's
It's,
mostly
the utmost
because I'm hunched over, and I am much smaller than you in my head. I'm not sure I appreciate you bringing notice to that, Jake. Though
Riff Raff, this is no time for your sense of humor, all right?
I wasn't making a joke.
Either way,
You were.
something horrible is taking place. And I need to speak with Vajra. It's, again, of the utmost importance. And I think she might be the only one that can help.
Very
Kick on your
well.
shoes, make a point.
Walk this way, Jake.
Jake begins to walk. No, he's not in the mood for jokes right now.
He pauses. He looks back at you
Stay
sharply.
serious. Stay serious.
But yes, he does his limp, and he closes the door. Please wait
And Jake
here.
is noticeably like distraught and looks somewhat weak and like lost, kind of following.
Yeah.
If Riff Raff is paying attention.
Riff Raff does not seem to care. Like Riff Raff is Riff Raff. He is just like he's like, yes, please. And he brings you back into that waiting room. He says, wait here. And the waiting room has this same exact date. Like every time you've been here, it's the same layout. It's this opulent layout. There's lots of fruits and there's wine that you can drink. It's you've been here a few times now, and the similarity of the layout each time you've been here is a little unsettling because it's like copy paste whatever layout, but fine, whatever. So you sit there for a while, and there's a lot of stuff you can munch on here. And the door opens up, and he's like, the Black Staff has decided to see you this day. And he looks at you for a moment. It's like, here's your one raised eyebrow. He's like, unusual, but walk this way. And he leads you back through these corridors, and you actually go upstairs and stairs and stairs and stairs and stairs and stairs. And he walks tirelessly. He tirelessly humps up all of these stairs, and you're actually kind of finding yourself a little winded at the number
Terrible choice of words.
I have spoken.
That's going in my next trailer. I'm thinking humps up the stairs. My next trailer.
Well, he does. I mean, that.
Don't try to justify it.
I think the
You said
word
it.
you're looking for is hobbles.
No, he humps. He like humps up the stairs. He's hump.
That's not making it better.
No, it's not. Am I
making it
help,
better.
am I making the hole deeper? Is the hole how? Is that?
Shoot in mouth.
I'm a terrible human. All right.
Sorry.
And so he actually eventually takes you out to this door that opens up onto this balcony. That actually, it's a balcony that is open out onto the. It's high. It's stories above the city, and it opens out onto the bay. And when you first open it, you're like, whoa! Like you knew you were climbing stairs, but you didn't realize you climbed this many stairs. And you're looking out at a high parapet, looking out above the bay. And this thing actually goes all the way around, and it wraps around this entire tower. And on the other side of the tower would be the city. But standing, holding this black staff, is hold on. I just realized that I should give something more worth looking at than this garbage. Whoops, sorry.
Boom, there she is.
Yep. Is Vajra, and she's you're once again sort of remarkable how young she is. I mean, she is like the Wizard of Waterdeep, and she is like a young woman. Generally, we expect wizards to be these old, gray-haired men, right? And she is this very young, dark-skinned woman, and she is sort of standing out, holding the staff, looking out upon the bay. And you realize as you sort of turn back and you look at the city itself, you look at the bay, and you're like, you feel the fresh sea air, and you look back at the city. And as you do, for the briefest moment, you sort of like feel this like almost as if you can't quite breathe, almost as if the idea of going back into the city of Waterdeep like would suffocate you. You couldn't even stand that. You're like, and you sort of shake it off. You're like, yeah, probably just some height thing or something. But you've never had that experience before. We were looking at the city of Waterdeep, and you felt you couldn't breathe. You felt like you were just suffocating just by looking at it. Just by the thought of being there kind of suffocates you. And she looks at you and she's like, quite the view, don't you think?
I'm a little taken aback by it, actually.
I noticed.
I have been having some problems.
Seemed like you were trying to catch your breath there for a moment.
Definitely. It might be the height. I'm not sure. I've never been up this high. I've never seen down that far over water.
She looks at you piercingly. She says, yes, perhaps the height. Riffraff. Thank you, my good friend. And Riffraff says, you're welcome. He goes down and leaves the door open down the stairs. She says, so Jake, Melshimber, correct?
Yes.
It is good to see you. You are a good friend of the Grey Hands. We appreciate you and your friends significantly, in fact. What brings you to this tower this day? And you look at her, and her eyes are like, when she looks at you, she's very young, but her eyes are very, very old. And it looks like her eyes sort of see into you, and they just pierce through you and see into you. And surely she sees every thought in your head, everything that your soul may lay to bear, as she stares at you with those old eyes.
So then, like, because it's visible, there's something changed with Jake.
It's just
eyes, like he hasn't noticed the eyes, but the eyes are draconic. The skin is kind of pale and like not slimy because scales aren't slimy.
True.
But like almost like a scaly complexion to his visage. think that's the word I'm looking for. Maybe not.
Mm-hmm. I think it's visage.
Does it look like she's noticed something's wrong? Like, can Jake pick up that
From what you can tell, she is staring directly into your eyes, directly into your soul, into all your thoughts, into everything in your brain. That's kind of the impression. Surely that's not true, but like your logic brain is telling you that's not really true, but your lizard brain is like, she is looking into my eyes and reading everything in my entire soul.
Window to the soul.
Just an impression.
Vajra, I feel like I don't even need to explain myself, but at the same time, I should tell you that I've done something that I now think may have been very foolish and very, very wrong.
You,
and
Jake?
It's too late to take it back.
You, Jake, doing something foolish?
I know. I wasn't thinking. I was distraught. I was filled with rage and anger, and the thirst for vengeance filled me. I don't know if you know of the fireball that took place in Troll Skull Alley.
I have heard of such.
But it took the life of my aunt. And since then, I've been filled with rage and been feeling lost. And in those emotions and those feelings, I made a pact. I made a deal with the dragon from the harbor. And he kind of holds out his hand and shows the scar on his hand.
And her eyes actually widen. She's like, "You, what?" And she walks over to you. Jake, what have you done? And she grabs your hand, and she sets the staff up, and it just stands upright on its own. And she grabs your hand. Yeah. She grabs your hand in one hand, and she looks at your hand, and she touches. Hot to the touch. Jake, what have you done? And she quickly grabs the staff back.
In my search for power,
and she actually takes a step away from you, and you see that she sort of puts the staff in front of her, almost crossing herself with the staff. Jake, what have you done?
In my thirst for vengeance, in my anger, I went to Zelefarn and I made a blood pact with him. I took the dragon's blood with
Zelefarn, the dragon. That's the dragon you talked to in the harbor.
The dragon in the harbor. Yes.
What? Yes. Okay. Made a pact? Did you exchange blood with this dragon, Jake?
I did. To try and get his power, to try and get the power of the dragons, and it seems that it's come true. And he kind of opens up his jacket because he's not wearing his armor anymore. He's just opens up his jacket, and you can see the scales on his body.
She's like,
it makes it very clear.
And she's like, has this been done? And she actually sort of closes her eyes for a moment, and you see her grip on the staff tighten, and she starts kind of whispering almost to the side. It almost sounds like, it almost sounds like she's sort of speaking in tongues. She's speaking, and you can almost pick out words, but you actually can't. And she's talking very quickly. It's sort of like, she can't. And then she sort of like opens her eyes again, and her grip on the staff loosens, and she looks and she says, This has been done very rarely in the past, and the outcome has not been good. The fact that you are even still standing here in front of me, Jake, speaks of a great resilience, a great strength within you, both mental and physical. I am impressed. But that aside, for a moment, she seemed almost human, almost young womanish for like that briefest moment, as she was talking about being impressed. But then she's like, yes. But you may be in great danger, Jake Melshimber.
That is why I've come to see you, Vajra. I feel like I am. I can't control my emotions. I'm lashing out at not only my friends. The vengeance keeps growing. I almost did something foolish and attacked the Growlhounds.
The House Growlhound? Jake, you know the penalty for attacking nobles in this town.
And I did. At the time, I didn't care. The rage overwhelmed me. If it weren't for my friends, I don't think I would have been able to control myself.
Your friends, they are the key in this, aren't they? And she sort of closes her eyes again. She opens her eyes again and she says, yes. The wisdom, and she taps the staff. The wisdom is incredible and continually impresses me. I am lucky to be in this station. What would you have me do for you, Jake? Why have you come to me?
I was hoping with your connections to the weave, to your knowledge of magic, I've started to since I woke up this morning with these scales on my body, with this new feeling of power. The electricity still rages within my body, but I feel like I have a little bit more control over it. But I can feel the rage, the anger, the sadness inside me swirling around uncontrollable. And I don't want to lose myself again. I need your help to find myself, to control this somehow, to suppress this rage that builds inside me. I don't know what else to do. And you're the only person I could think of in all of Waterdeep, in all of the Sword Coast even, that might be able to do something to help me control this and help me to become myself more again.
I sense the power in you, Jake. I sense that there's this raw power. She can close her eyes. And she sort of, I sense this raw power in you that is begging to be harnessed. Though I also sense that you do have the wherewithal to harness it, to use it and bend it to your will, but it will be difficult. You and this power will struggle. It may consume you. And she sort of puts the staff in front of her again, and I do worry to some extent, if the power consumes you, what that may do to the city. But, and she's once again sort of like grasps the staff, and she kind of closes her eyes and whispers. But I think that I can help you with this. I believe I can make a charm for you, Jake. A charm that shall suppress these urges of yours, these violent urges, the more barbaric urges of yours, while allowing you freedom to pursue your powers, to harness them, to hone them, to learn to master these things that are manifesting inside of you. Because we want to take those things and make them as great as they can be. That is the goal. We do not want to repress ourselves. We want to merely take that power and harness it and guide it to our own will, bend it to our own wills. Do you understand this, Jake?
I do. I definitely do. How long will it take to make such a charm?
Can you come to me tomorrow? It may take some day. I have a couple of ingredients to find.
I don't feel safe in the city. Would it be okay if I stayed somewhere within the tower? Somewhere where I feel safe, where I know there's someone as powerful as you that can help me control this, that can stop me should I lose control? I'm scared, Vajra. I'm very scared right now. I don't know what to do. And he's kind of, almost a tear comes out of his eye and runs down his cheek as he says it. You can see the fear in his face and his eyes.
Yes, Jake. I think that is good. We shall find you good quarters within the tower this evening. Perhaps you and I can even chat over a meal this evening.
I would appreciate that, Vajra.
It may be good. It may be good if I watched you closely. The closer you are to me, I think the more stable you may feel. So perhaps we should spend much time together this day.
I agree. I agree. I feel safe right now. Just being here, I feel safer and in more control of what's going on within me.
I understand. Well then, come, Jake. And she actually comes across and she puts a small, weak feeling hand on your arm, but the hand grasps.
That's gonna be my ass. Damn.
Oh. And we've gone over the exit. She says, "Come, Jake. Let us have lunch and perhaps a glass of wine, and we shall get to know one another. What do you say?"
I think that'd be good.
Cool. So she does. She turns you back, and you guys head down this thing. And as you look over the city again, you're once again sort of like, for just a briefest moment, sort of like kind of find yourself catching your breath as you look out over the city of Waterdeep, and you have this very, very brief thought that comes and goes, that goes away as quickly as it came. But this very brief thought of like, I don't want to be here. Wait, no, it's what? Anyway, and down the stairs you go into the tower. As that scene closes, we're going to take our second break of the night. We will be back in 5. This, let's see, this day. I guess one of the things to do. So if you guys have plans when we come back, let me know if you guys have plans you want to do. Otherwise, I will just send my machinations out into the ether. Ether? Let's get a break. See you guys in 5. All right.
Pretty steady on viewers.
Oh, nice. We are back from break. I came back short because we run out of time, and I got shit to. Oh! It's the bees. I got stuff to do tonight. I got an agenda. Sort of.
I don't like that. He's gonna kill another NPC. So everyone to hold your parents close.
I
So
know,
what do you
Mert.
like?
I'm gonna find Jet's body.
Oh no, Mert. So sad.
We'll have to take over the opera for him.
You guys don't like Mert enough. I don't know if you're attached to Mert. I need somebody you're attached to more than Mert to kill.
Vajra, kill Vajra.
Yeah.
Vajra's tough to kill. I'm not gonna lie.
Kill
Make
the
Jake do
NPC in the
it
story.
after a night of passion.
Yeah, make Jake murder her.
I can't. All right. So Jake has been hanging out, or is currently spending the rest of the day with the Blackstaff. Let's see. Who else has a plan for this day? Anything? Are we wrapping this day?
I would like to do one more thing.
Okay.
I would like to make my way back to the Spirits of the Hydra.
Yeah.
And, in my current dejected state, walk in, sit at the bar, and just kind of stare at it for a bit and look around if I see Cole.
Cole would have been back already because all he did was go to the armor to pick up that gauntlet.
So are you like downstairs right now?
He's probably in his room.
Okay. Have I ever been in your room or?
Yeah, you got to go through my room to get to the tower.
Gotcha. Okay. So then he'll go upstairs and on the stairs.
I
Or
think
that's here.
Ardath is back.
So he'll knock on Cole's door.
Hello.
Yes, Cole.
Yeah, come in.
All right, so he'll walk in. I have a question that I believe you would be the best to ask.
I will try my best to give you an answer.
As a fellow worshiper of a god, when you attempt to communicate or receive any communication from the Raven Queen, and she neglects,
Downstairs, this place is banging.
what do you do in that regard? What do you do after that?
Well, you talk to your friends like you are doing right now. I came to you recently with one of my concerns about the Raven Queen. You put my mind to ease, and it helped me. And the next time I spoke with her, she let me know that she was still around. It wasn't anything direct or like a dream or anything, but I had the feeling that I felt she understood. So maybe it's something that the followers of Cord have to do something differently other than just speaking to the god.
No, usually that's true. We don't really sit and pray in the way you do. We usually gain Court's favor with a show of strength. And I went through the temple today, and I fought someone, and it wasn't much of a fight. But I don't know if maybe it wasn't.
Well, you
good
said it
enough,
right. You said it right there. You said it wasn't much of a fight. If it's not a challenge, it's not going to impress the god of combat.
Well, I don't know what to do other than that. Like, do I just go around and fight someone until they prove to be a challenge?
I could spar with you, or Elona could spar with you. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm the best brawler, but could give it a try.
I'd be willing, sure. I truthfully, between us, I don't know if I could really fight Elona at my best.
Are you saying that you would handicap yourself because she's a lady, or because you have a
No.
prior thing with her? Because, you know, I kind of saw the little haha earlier. Hey,
Saw this spa. Would you like to spa?
It's okay. You know, you are a friend of hers from the past. It's okay. I'm not mad about it. I have no right to be mad about it.
Why mad about it?
I mean, why would I be mad about it?
At that moment, he's gonna be like, letter in Elona's room. Conversation with Elona. Mad about it.
Conversation.
Oh.
Everything's starting to connect. And he's like, oh. So then,
as you guys are talking,
kind of look down.
yeah, as you're looking down, you actually hear this, and this sort of paper bird flies into the room, up into the room, and flies around you, Ordath. And you reach up and you take it.
I look at it, open it up.
It's a letter sent to you via paper bird. This is a common magical, uncommon magical thing. They cost money, obviously, but and it is a letter, and it says, "Meet me at the yawning portal. I have a potential update to talk with you about for your mentor," and it's signed D at the bottom.
Oh, Cole, where is the yawning portal?
Can show you. Do you need
Please.
someone to go with you?
If you want, sure. I got this letter, and he'll show it to him.
This is fantastic. Yes, let's go.
Oh, and he'll do kind of like shoulder check the door frame accidentally.
Wait, gentle. It's only my door.
And then he'll start making his way downstairs.
All right, so you guys head out to the yawning portal, a little ways away.
Awkward energy of that conversation was so cute.
I wanted to make it as awkward as I could.
That was
What do you mean?
beautiful.
What do you mean I'd be upset? I wouldn't be upset. You're upset. I'm not upset.
That was so beautiful. Oh my God, that was
I'm
amazing.
clipping that so I can watch it personally.
Thank you. Let's see, Zavroski. What does Zavroski have going on today? He's hanging out, right?
He was waiting for Mert, so he's probably playing at the bar until Mert maybe or maybe not arrives today.
Are you expecting Mert?
He sent a runner.
He sent a message.
Oh yeah. But let's see, when's he gonna get there? Okay, all right. So you guys head to the yawning portal. Take some time. The day is dragging on. We're in the latter part of the day today. The sun is on the lower part of the horizon at this point, and you guys get to the yawning portal, and I hope I have this right. I'm gonna mix all this up. Oh, well. As you go in there, the hang on.
You guys should continue that conversation as you walk to the yawning portal. It was
Oh
great.
yeah. Yeah, what's that look like? What's that conversation look like? Sort of walking across
there's
town.
Not really much of a conversation because as they're walking, Ardoth is avoiding as much eye contact with Cole as possible because he just doesn't know how to like respond to that right now. He feels one that he may have like he's been trying to make friends with Cole this whole time, and now he feels like he just hella oversteps bounds, and like he's feeling like a real shitty person.
All right.
Hey,
Taking away my fun.
you're being quite quiet. Is everything all right?
No, yeah. Everything's fine.
I mean,
Um,
you should be at least a little excited. This is the first word of something about Jet in since you've been here.
I'm very excited. I mean, I don't want to get too excited because I don't know exactly what this is going to entail, and it could just be terrible news. But and he's gonna like as he's talking, he's like because he naturally looks at people when he talks to them. So as he's talking, he's turning around and then he looks at Cole and then like turns his head away again. And so I just don't
Do I
know
have
if
something in my teeth? Eh,
no. You are perfectly fine. I
What's going on?
That's thunder. Whoa. You guys hear that?
I heard that one.
That's some for real thunder. Like that's actually legit thunder in my.
That's not usually what they can sound.
No. That's actually my house right now. Yeah.
That's not thunder manifesting from Ordath trying not to like.
That's right. The clouds convened.
yeah. As you're talking, Cole. I mean, not Cole. Orda.
Cole at this point doesn't realize what he said to you.
Mhm.
So in his mind, he's like, "This guy just got really quiet and weird. What's going on?"
Yeah, he figured, and so as he as they get closer to the yawning portal, he's just gonna say, Cole, we are friends, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it is a new friendship, but I value your companionship and your arm in battle. You are truly helpful to this group.
Okay. I didn't know about you two, and I am sorry. I didn't mean it. I am sorry.
What?
And then he's just gonna kind of hurriedly walk off.
There's it's more in my head than anything.
And he pushes, but he's already in the yawning portal. He doesn't actually hear that part. He's sort of walked into the yawning portal at that point. And you go in, and the yawning portal is busy. It's the evening. People are having their dinner, drinks. It's starting to get rowdy in here a little bit, and you guys do find Davil sort of at his usual table, and he's sitting with Iagra. In fact, him and the this large half-orc woman. And they sit there, and you kind of go over, and he waves at you, and he's like, yes. And you sit, hello, friends. Well, welcome back.
Hello.
I've asked around a bit about your missing mentor, the Fire Genasi. Fire Genasi should be relatively easy to spot in the city. They're pretty rare. I have reports that there is a Fire Genasi working in a forge in Trollskull Alley, in fact, right next to you guys. But I assume that's not the one you're looking for.
No, he would be a priest.
Well, I do not know of his calling, his religious callings, but there is a Fire Genasi that I know that works in Trollskull Alley. Other than that, I've not been able to sort of vaguely ask around. That means I need to start paying for some leads. I need to start greasing some palms and paying for leads. That means that this is going to cost money. Perhaps a bit of money. I have a need, and perhaps we can exchange favors of a sort.
Okay. What did you have in mind?
I also have someone looking for a missing person. But you and your friends, especially as I know that you are friends with Elona, Jake, the great Zavroski, maybe just the group that could solve my missing person problem while I pay to solve yours. What do you say to an exchange of favors?
Sure. What are the details?
Well, here's what I know. Oops, wait. No, hang on. Sorry.
Who is it that you're talking to again? Dabble?
Dabble and Yagra, yeah.
My lady love.
Lady love. Your love is peaceful like a... Where the heck is... Hang on. I forgot what I'm doing.
That's a remix.
Cole is trying to be as imposing as he can, standing next to someone that's 9 feet tall.
Yagra's there. At least Cole's eye
Ordoth
candy.
is still making, like, going above and beyond to make sure he does not make any eye contact with Cole.
Oh, God damn it. That's where it is.
I just picture being like, no, really, Ordath, it's cool. Like, Elona fucks Yagra. Like, we're all cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So, yeah. So he is, he's like, have you heard of the snow beetles?
No.
Well, they are Waterdeep's richest halfling family.
Great band too.
They are missing a family member. Apparently, one of their family members, Dasher Snow Beetle, is
The reindeer?
no the Snow Beetle. He has apparently gone missing, and she's contacted me trying to find her son. I've gotten my hands on a bit of information that I think may lead us to this Dasher. One of my constables thinks he saw a halfling fitting his description. He's a scrawny halfling, massive curly red hair, at the Pickled Fisherman in the dock ward. He's been reported missing by his family some months ago. So, of course, we're not sure where he is. But perhaps you can head down there and see if you can find this person and convince him to return to his family, or find out what happened to him, at least, I suppose.
I mean, it seems simple enough.
Simple enough.
What do you do? What do you think, Cole?
I think this is a straightforward request, but I will leave that decision to you. But I will help you if this is what you want to do.
I mean, it's kind of my only choice because I don't have any money. So I will accept it.
Ah, well, that's fantastic. And we can use the reward from this to pay for the information that I'm searching for you, in fact. And the big half-orc standing there, she says, so! And she looks at Cole, she says, how's Elona doing? I haven't seen her in a couple of days.
She's doing great, Yagra.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's quite good.
I
very
know
strong.
that. Well, I know that. She sort of massages a little scar she's got on her cheek that she got. She's I know she's strong.
Hello.
You could visit us at our bar. We have drinks there too.
She glanced at
Why are
Devil.
all of you here?
I suppose I could.
He'll-
Maybe I will.
We'll extend a hand
I'm
to her.
sorry, Yagra. This is
Be like,
Orda.
hello.
Oh,
A friend
yeah,
of Elona?
indeed. Yes, friend of Elona. and she grabs your hand, and it's like this bone crushing grip as she grabs your hand, and you sort of meet it with strength. But she is.
He will. Yeah, I was about to say his first handshake was the polite, nice to meet you.
Oh no,
handshake.
she is like
But
grabbing
when he
your
felt
like
that- when he
grabbing
felt that
yeah.
pressure. He's like, all right, let's return that.
Yeah, and you guys have this sort of tense moment where you're like there, and you realize like she is as strong as you at least. This is an incredibly strong person.
She's gained a couple levels.
Yeah, but like you guys have this sort of tense moment where she looked at you and you look at her and the veins start to pop and she's like, well met. Ardath, you say?
Yes.
And how does he know Elona? She looks back to Cole.
They were at the monastery together.
Monastery.
Yes.
Yes, I'm
Where-
a friend from her youth.
Elona went to a monastery?
She's a monk.
Oh, whatever. All right, well, tell her Yagra said hi and that she thought about her
I will pass on that
Once.
very endearing message.
once. Maybe.
Okay.
Don't make me sound needy.
Fine.
The best way to describe Elona being a monk is she's a monk. Whatever.
Oh, well, all right. So you're done. And Dalbazaka, yes, well, yes, let me know what you find out. I would like to return this Dasher to his family as soon as we can.
Will do, and I appreciate the help.
Indeed. I'll let you know what I find.
Thank you. And you'll like start to turn around and walk out.
And Cole is following, and he's going to. We need to finish that little chat we
What?
started before we came in.
What?
Man,
what-
he's
what
like
chat?
not letting it
What?
go, man.
Ordal's pace unintentionally speeds up.
Where's my?
He's gonna grab you by the shoulder and like dig his
The
heels
shoulder.
in,
This man is 9 feet
or
tall.
the belt, and
He's like,
and just come on! I'm trying to talk to you seriously. Come on, be an adult.
he just like
And you Ordal's like
he
12.
face palms and sighs, and then he's like, sure.
Listen,
Okay.
I'm not sure what your past is, but I know it's very special to her. And whatever that ring is very important to her.
Yes.
Me and her have shared a few tender moments, and that has meant a very great deal to me. But this has been nothing more than that. While I am interested, I do not claim her.
Oh, I definitely misunderstood. I felt terrible. I thought you two were together, and then
No.
everything that happened in the, oh my God, yeah.
So please, whatever strangeness you are feeling, it is unwarranted.
Just between us. Oh no, this is gonna get complicated. There is something in Elona's room that you might want to see.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it was. When I put her down in the room last night, I saw something with your name written on it.
When you did what in her room last night? What? Wait,
Yeah.
What?
When I was laying that pipe.
What? When I was laying it down in the room last night.
How nasty.
I don't know what it is. I didn't want to go through and
I mean,
violate that, but
I did help her with some translations to figure out what's going on with her mother.
oh, that might be it. I don't know. All I know is it had your name on it.
And I definitely didn't pick it up and look at it and try and read it.
Oh, okay. Well, if she feels that she needs to show that to me, I will wait for her to show it to me.
Understandable. I figured. I don't know. I don't know what's going. So
Hey,
yes,
I
back to the box.
I can see where your thinking was, but as much as I would like that to be the situation, it is not. and this time, Cole will be the one to awkwardly walk away.
Oh, wow. Oh, jeez.
Ordov is in such a fucking terrible place because this is his friend. He wants to be like, don't worry, bud.
Oh,
You never know.
man.
But at the same time, he's like, well, maybe you should give up. You know.
I just want you guys to know that your ship name is Coldath. I already made it.
Coldath. That's cool.
I like
that
it.
works.
Cold F.
It's either that or oral, and no.
Oral, yeah. Oral. Nah, I vote oral.
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 That's-
I kind of vote oral too.
I like oral. Yeah. Hello.
That's a very stretched out
So
69.
no, I'll take
Oh.
Okay. So he's gonna like hyperventilate for a second and then start trying to catch up with Cole, which isn't hard because Cole's moving
said,
as
what,
fast
2
as
strides?
he can. Yeah, I just like stride a couple times and I'm next to him.
All right, so we'll close that scene as you guys are sort of awkwardly walking with each other, both deeply lost in your own thoughts about all of the stuff going on with the three of you, the two of you, and Elona, and boy, and we'll open the next scene with the great Zavroski, biding his time, practicing some new licks on his.
Performing for the tavern.
Yeah, at the tavern, and your buddy Mert actually does come in. This is in late in the evening. He sort of comes in, kind of bumps into the door frame as he walks in, and he kind of staggers in a little bit, and he's like, gives you a wave and finds a seat and waves over to the bar. You kind of
finishes the little ditty he's playing and walks over and says, "Why don't we take a bottle upstairs?"
Upstairs? Why? Well, we haven't even had dinner yet. And now you want to take me to bed already? Well, you should at least feed me. Come on now, Zavroski.
We can grab some food on the way too.
Oh,
Give
baby.
A fun wink at Mert.
We can, but this is a fine place. Let's talk. Let's down here. We'll be fine. What's upstairs is not down here.
Privacy.
Yes. Well, we're not worried about all that. We're just casual friends hanging out now, aren't we? You seem kind of. You notice he's been drinking, but he's sort of astutely glancing around at the tavern and the people here. You get the sense he doesn't want to make any sort of scene or notable thing or people even notice that he's here to the extent that he can. He means,
Very, very well, Mert. Perhaps the next time there's a beautiful lady here for you to take upstairs, you'll go upstairs instead.
Oh, no doubt. If you could save me a room for that, I would certainly appreciate it. Now, you said we were going to eat and a drink more, I suppose. That would be fantastic.
Sounds great.
All right. So Mert, so you guys should chat, have some more drinks. Mert is clearly been drinking long before this, and you guys talk, and he's like, so, Zavroski, how's things? How's our business? How are we doing here? We making money this 10-day? How is that? Oh, I gotta redo the 10-day. Shit. All right. Hang on. Let me make a note of myself. I gotta redo that. Hold on. We need to.
I mean, we could make that roll now and then have an update from Mert right at this moment. Unless you're changing how it works.
No, that's fine. In fact, that's a great idea. I like that idea a lot. Okay, so what I want to do is, but now I got to do math in my head, and God darn it. Fine. All right, where is my? Shoot, I'm short on time. let's get back to it. You tell him how we're doing. You just tell him, and we'll decide. But this is So he's like, so how are we doing? How's business? We doing well?
This is going decently.
Fair
Still
enough.
growing clientele, but I'm sure it seems more packed in here every day, I feel.
Yes, I see a good crowd. That's good. That's good. So have you been hanging out much at the Yawning Portal, Zavroski? You ever go back there still?
Not personally.
Ooh. I don't blame you.
Believe.
I don't blame you, but
I got my own place to play at now. They don't business to support. If I'm at the Yawning Portal, people will go there instead of here. Why would I? Don't want to drive business away from my own tavern.
indeed, yeah, fair enough. I I go to the Yawning Portal pretty often myself, actually, and I keep tabs on there. Have you ever met Matrim? Matrim Three Strings. He plays there all the time. You surely know him.
I've met him on occasion, especially while I was playing there. We chatted every once in a while.
Yeah. What's your read on him? What do you think about that guy? He seems like just such a doddering sort of fool, doesn't he?
If you say so.
I'm telling you
I
what I've
believe-
heard, not what I've observed.
I believe he, behind the scenes, is less foolish than he seems.
Yeah, I do too, actually.
Kind of like some other people I know. And I smile.
Zavroski, I like you. I do indeed. You may have the right of it yet. I agree with you. I think Matrim greatly undervalues himself and who he really is. I also think that Matrim is friends with a group of people that... a group of individuals, let's say. Have you... And he's looking around again, and he sort of lowers his voice a lot here. So that probably... He seems to be still having a good time, but you're sure only you can hear what he's saying. You've heard of doppelgangers?
Yes, they're a staple in some of the greatest plays.
Well, indeed. For they can assume form of anyone. Indeed.
It's always a twist when they're involved.
There is indeed. Do you know that there are doppelgangers here in Waterdeep? A group of them, in fact. A faction, I believe. Seems absent-mindedly sort of eating this dish that he has. He's like, this is actually quite good, don't you think? He speaks loudly.
Yes, it's delicious.
Yes.
Haven't heard of any particular group. I'm not surprised that there is one.
Do you, in your dealings at the Yawning Portal, you ever meet Bonnie, the waitress? Everybody seems to know Bonnie.
She was a nice lass.
Is still. Do you know that Bonnie is a doppelganger? And this wine is actually quite delicious. I'm not going to lie. This place has some fantastic wines. It seems you did not.
That is news to me, friend.
Yes. She is one of several doppelgangers in this city who are making a living passing themselves off as Waterdeepian citizens. Now, I don't care that these doppelgangers are creatures or humans or whatever they may be. What I care about is, are they allies? Can they actually be of use to us? And he looks at you sort of piercingly.
People with all kinds of talents could definitely be useful, but that is definitely something I could look into.
That would be much appreciated. Get in touch with these doppelgangers if you can, and find out if they can be trusted, if they could be allies, or if they're here for other purposes. If they can be trusted, then maybe we'll bring them into our fold. Because who better to find information than those who can assume the shape of anyone? Right?
Sounds like the best kind of spy to me.
I could not agree more. Zavroski, I like you. I like that we are greatly on the same page here in Waterdeep. I think we are going to be good long-term friends, in fact. In addition to being business partners. My business partner, who clearly serves the best wine in the city at this place.
Zavroski will clink glasses with him.
I, for one, am glad I came here tonight. I plan on coming here as often as I possibly can. Let me know what you find out, Zavroski.
Right. Before you go, I have a note for you.
Oh, yeah?
Just need to grab it from my study, and I'll be right back.
Oh, sure. I'll wait here. In fact, he spies this sort of young woman heading up to the bar. I'll wait right here. Maybe I'll wait over there, actually. He stands up, goes chat up this woman at the bar. So what's the note that you're bringing to him?
He wants to mention 3 eyes for a potential key, if Mert knows of anybody that might have them, where to look for them.
All right. So how are you talking to him about this?
He's writing a note.
All right. Yeah. So you come down, you give him the note, and he looks at you, and he's like, maybe I'll check out that book after all. You said you had some tome upstairs in the library.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So you guys head upstairs.
Constantly growing my collection.
Yeah. So you guys head upstairs, and he's talking to you, and he's like, "What? The Grand Gate, Zavroski, do you have any idea what you're getting into?"
We are partners in it, are we not?
Zavroski. Tell me you were not involved with what happened at the Growlhund estate last night.
He'll just smile.
Oh, by the gods. Do you know that's going to be all over Waterdeep by tomorrow? The Growlhunds fools thought they could hide it. How can you hide dozens of dead bodies in the city of Waterdeep? That's such nonsense. The eyes. I've caught whispers of all of this. What's the story? What are these? What's the story with the eyes?
As far as the Growlhunds' notes, or what they've told us at least from their own notes, is that they're required for a key to wherever the treasure may be.
The treasure? You mean Never Ember's enigma?
Yes.
You've found Never Ember's enigma?
No, but having the key is quite crucial once you have found it.
You have the key?
No, that's the 3 eyes are part of the key, is what they said.
But you may not know what you're into, Zavroski. You may not want to be into this. This is a dangerous, dangerous game. Supposedly,
You
Never
said
Ember's.
this many times already, Mert.
Supposedly, Never Ember's enigma is the key to vast, unimaginable wealth, and there are
A million
many.
dragons, they say.
Everyone in this city would gladly kill to get even a glimpse of that, even a chance at that.
Well, it sounds like we are going to look for more allies. We're already teamed up with you.
Indeed. You should,
The
in fact,
doppelgangers. And
gather
we're
what allies
slowly
you
growing
can.
influence all across the city.
Indeed. How is your relationship with the Castellanters? What are they like? What's happening there?
They're very interested in my group helping them.
Do they know about the key? Do they know you have the key?
No, I haven't met with them since any
Good.
recent events.
I would not tell them. I am sure they're in on the game. Be careful with them. But they can be
They
very...
definitely are, yes.
They could be very, very powerful allies, though. They are one of the richest, most influential forces in this entire city. If you can get them on your side, they can work miracles. But do not trust them.
They also already extended an offer where we only take 10%.
That may be a fair deal, to be truth. How would you... Look, if I can help, let me know. I am interested in this as much as anyone, of course, but we're friends. If I can help, I have information, a lot of information. Do not worry. And we can work out.
There's 3 eyes to make the key, so if you know where any of these 3 eyes
to the key. And you see the wheel start turning in his head as he's like, 3 eyes to the key. I haven't heard of this before, but do you know where these eyes might be?
From what the grounds said, they might be with Zathars. They might be with Manshun. Or they might have something to do with our good friend Renair.
Wasn't he kidnapped though? Didn't he get kidnapped and he
talked about his locket being opened up, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was an eye previously in there.
So he may have had a piece, but now it's missing indeed.
Don't actually remember which one of the groups got away with it at this point. Might have to ask him again.
Might. Very well. Be careful, Zavroski. Be careful. I will lend you what aid I can, but I could not offer protection. This is a dangerous, dangerous game that you are involved in. And if you do indeed have this key, eyes or no eyes...
I do not have a key.
Oh, well, then perhaps that is good. That is good. Because anyone who has information on this, all eyes will be on them. So, care for yourself.
You as well, Mert.
Oh. He slapped you. Oh, Mert's gonna be just fine.
And from your previous discussion, are you also insinuating Matrim 3 Strings is part of that doppelganger family?
Oh, is he one? I don't think so.
Or is he? Do you know who his friends are? Are they Xanathar, Zentarum, or something else entirely?
That's a good question. That's a good question. You should ask him. I say be direct.
Sounds great.
Yes. Very well. And he heads downstairs. He's like, oh, that was quite the raunchy book there. I'm almost embarrassed to have seen that, but fine, very well.
And just remember to go to where I told you to get more.
Oh, don't worry, I got you.
It's a good store.
I'll be back here tomorrow to have more of this fantastic wine and food. And he heads out. All right, close scene. Fuck, that's open scene. Jake. Dinner with the Blackstaff. You guys have been kind of hanging out. She's been chatting with you, and she tells you. Yes, Jake. Jake, this is fantastic. You are. And she kind of glanced at the staff. I've heard of this thing happening before, but it is incredibly rare. Of course, there are dragon-born, the offspring of the dragons, but those exchanging blood with a dragon is an exceedingly rare event, and few humans have ever survived such a thing. I can help you. Stay here this night. In this place, Jake, and she looks at you straight in the eye. In this place you are safe. Do not fear. My magics shall protect us in this place. This night I shall work on a ward that you can take with you, that shall also provide you some modicum of protection against the more basal urges that you may be feeling from this blood transfusion. This will test all of your character, Jake, all of your resolve, all of your mental and physical fortitude. Yet should you survive, you shall find yourself, as I believe you have already sort of feeling, in a very powerful state, with powers presented to you, those of which you had never dreamed of before.
I mean, that's why I made the mistake that I did and tried to, and made this blood pact with the dragon, was for the power. But now I think there's part of me that feels like it might be too much. But with your help, I know that I'll be able to handle this. I can already feel just being here with you in the tower. I can feel more in control of what's going on. But I don't know what'll happen when I leave this place without that. If I leave this place without the ward.
Do not assume it was a mistake, Jake. The threads of fate work in very mysterious ways to get us where we belong, to get us to the destination we are meant to arrive upon. This may have been the smartest thing you have ever done. It may indeed be a mistake. Time will tell that. Do not assume it was a mistake. You have made a bold step, a grand step that very, very few mortals have ever taken. It would be good. It is good for you to stay here this night. I shall have Riffraff make accommodations for you.
I thank you, milady.
It is good. Now, let us talk more about, and you guys sort of go on this sort of entire evening of chit-chat and food and drink, and it's fantastic. A couple of things you kind of pick up about her. She is like this... she apparently, whenever she's looking for an answer to something, she sort of like looks to the staff as if she's like communing with the staff or something like that. It's really weird. But outside of that, she is a young, like almost naive woman. She has this sort of aura of incredible power about her, but also this aura of not having done much, not having like personally gone out and gone on many grand adventures. So it's really interesting kind of talk with her. You spend the evening together hanging out. I don't want to narrate this whole thing. Do you have any kind of
I think Jake would make like the usual small talk that one would make with somebody while they were sharing dinner. He would try and steer away from anything that was like information he didn't want to share, and he would ask questions about the dragon blood, if anything that she can, any kind of information she can offer about that. But outside of that, it would pretty much just be like small talk while he kind of bides his time to get this ward.
Okay, so yeah, you guys do. You guys hang out. You actually have a fantastic evening. It's really good. She actually has fun, and you catch a couple of. In fact, as the evening goes on, as she actually does drink a significant bit of wine, you get more and more glimpses of this sort of like person, and several times, in fact, you actually make her laugh, and like she gets into this genuine laugh where it's like the staff and this whole black staff thing is aside, and for just a second or two, she laughs, and she is like this 20-something-year-old young woman who is enjoying the company of this other person. But that's sort of quickly sort of veiled again as she sort of like, you get the impression that she is this person, but she carries this very heavy mantle of responsibility. Like she has this role that she carries, dutifully carries, that really kind of rests heavily upon her shoulders. And she's very cognizant of that. And you break through that a few times over the course of the evening. but each time that sort of mantle sort of reasserts itself as she sort of like puts it on back and says, hey, this is my station, this is my duty. But you definitely hang out with her a bit, and I'm going to actually give you a whole nother reputation point with the Grey Hands as you do this with her. Okay, I'm running out of time quickly. Okay, so tomorrow, two things that she brings to you. So this night closes tomorrow. Jake, two things in the morning she talks to you about. One, she presents you with a talisman, and she says, Jake, take this talisman, wear it. And she puts it on you, and she says, this talisman, and as she puts it on you, it sits on your chest, and you feel it. It's gives you this sort of, it's a warm. It actually sits warmly upon your chest, and you feel the warmth sort of radiating out in your chest as it sits there. She says, this talisman shall help you to focus. It shall help you to repress the more basal drives and thoughts of the dragon. It shall repress the more aggressive parts of the dragon, while you grapple with this newfound power. It will have no effect on you or your powers. This is not, but it will simply help you. And you will feel it. It may throb at times as it works more or less, but you will feel its warmth, and it will remind you of your humanity and the good person that you are, Jake. And for a moment, she sort of smiles at you as she says, the good person that you are. And the second important part I want to get to is that she tells you... Shit, hold on. I'm sorry. I really try to get this in. Just a few more minutes. Sorry. What the heck? This is the downside of having everything in digital format. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm just putting it on record now so that we can look back on it later on. The power of boners is going to get us killed.
I don't have that thing on there. All right.
To be fair, Jake now has the amulet against boners.
Amulet of boner
This is
prevention?
the first time that Vajra's given Jake something that throbs.
The amulet of impotence.
That warm feeling that you feel. Oh, man.
Nasty.
All right. Yeah. Shit, fine. So she does. And she says, fairly well, Jake Melshimber. If the Grey Hands can be of any service to you, do not hesitate to ask. We consider you a friend now. And I cannot yet invite you to join our ranks, but know that you are... Well, I have enjoyed our time together. Let me say that. And she smiled at you. Yes. Anytime you want to or need a... well, I'll see you. I'll see you around.
Most definitely, I will seek you out if I need your guidance any further.
Yes, that would be nice. I mean, yes, if you must, then we will be at your disposal. Riffraff, see our friend out, please. He looks at her. Of course. Walk this way. All right. So. Whew. Okay. Drama tonight. Oh, Lord. All right. Jake has an amulet. Cole and Ardath are best BFFs who both want to bang the same girl. And,
Cute.
yeah.
What can I say?
Love
Jeez.
it how you just make it so dirty.
Yeah. We have
You want to appreciate
doppelgangers.
her.
We have. Oh my God, man. Okay, sorry.
Love
Last.
it like Jake.
Bitch, do I look like Jake?
All right, friends. This is really exciting. We actually, I know tonight was a big RP night, as most nights are. We're setting the stage for some pretty solid action coming up here soon, depending on the actions of the players. We'll see how that goes. Next week, we are going to continue on this. Anybody have anything I forgot? Anything I should mention before we go?
We have a new channel trailer on Twitch and on YouTube.
Oh, F&A, man. Yeah, animated. Oh, it's so good. Yeah. Oh, but yeah.
Please plug my work. I spent way too long on it.
For real, man. Absolutely. It's so good. Hit us up on YouTube. Definitely throw us that like and that subscribe button on YouTube so you'll get notifications when we, Anna, puts up the new videos on YouTube and stuff like that. That'd be fantastic.
We have a new schedule. We have an upload schedule.
It's on there, man. The schedule's there. We're here on Twitch and Discord, man. Look down in that in the Twitch thing. Hit that Discord link. Come hang out with us. We would love to chat with you. This is supposed to be an interactive type of thing, and that'd be fantastic. You'll get to talk to these really cool nerds, as well as myself and the other nerds from other shows. We're all on there. A week from today, we are going to continue this amazing game. We're going to get some more answers, maybe even see some more actions, and we might even roll some dice next week. I don't know. Do we roll dice this week? we actually
I
die.
rolled to get my dad to tell me where that
Crazy talk.
stupid thing was.
What do you
One
mean?
die roll. We have one die roll.
What do you mean?
Come here to roll dice.
3
Come here
hours.
to talk shit to each other.
Oh
Tell
yeah,
you
I
what,
You
rolled
guys
dice
are rolling
too.
dice?
I rolled dice to stomp somebody's ass into the ground.
I felt bad, man. I felt bad because my favorite part of playing Dungeons and Dragons is rolling the freaking math rocks, right? Like that's where it is. It's like rolling those
We
dice.
don't
See,
even
it was.
roll real math rocks.
I
It doesn't matter.
I know. A week from
I
today.
would rather watch Cole and Ardath be really awkward than roll math rocks any day.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty
That was
irritating.
pretty great awkward.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty great awkward.
That
I'm
was
gonna clip it as soon as this
some
is
solid
over.
role playing stuff. A week from today, I guarantee you, we're gonna roll the shiny math rocks. Until then, these guys are fucking badass. Are you kidding me?